You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected of you. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others scroll, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.
Tuesday. Haikuzo. Makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Mashamba yetu harambe.
Nguruwe kujikanga na mafuta yake. Na Afrika itakwisha.
Padani agosho. Ngai no mwega. Naende shode.
Wakati hiyo ilikuwa ukisema ngwe ndani. Ngwe.
Tamu hapa mlimani. Si ndio? Ya kufukuza ni tamu si tamu? The mountain people, many they love that food. Ya kufukuza mtu aende nyumbani, wanafurahia sana. Na mimi I want to tell you William Ruto, wewe hujui watu ya mlima. Wewe mwaga pesa yako hapa vile unamwaga walokalau. Wewe hujui watu. Uliza Gideon mmoja kuambia vile baba yake alikuwa anaona hapa. Hapa kwetu Madera alikuwa anapata 800 votes peke yake out of 60,000. Hapa mlimani hakuna pahali William Ruto, there is no constituency atafikisha kula 1,000 in this mountain. Ametangaza vita na watu ya mlima ya kiuchumi. Aliambia mimi, tulikuwa kwake shambani Kirigoris. Tulikuwa na Kimani Ichung'wa na Ndindi Nyoro na mimi. Kiwa naibu wake. Tulikuwa tunaelewana hapo mbeleni. Akatuweka kwa gari akatuzungusha kwa shamba yake. Hapo Kirigoris. Akitudanganya. Sasa wewe Rigiji unajua utazeeka. Wacha nikutafutie shamba hapa ukuje ukue jirani. Ndio tukistaafu tukue tunatembeleana. Hata hivi vijana wewe tulitae na wewe tuachie hao vijana. So wewe Ichung'wa takutafutia eka 100, wewe Dende 100, wewe Rigiji 300, mweke manyumba hapa tukue majirani tukiritaya. Uongo tu, nini namwangalia tu. Mimi nilikuwa nimemsoma haraka. Nikaona Ichung'wa anafurahi. Dende anafurahi. Na hapo ndio alianza kudanganya hao vijana wawili. That is where he started cheating them. That ya kwamba ataniambia mimi tulitae na yeye ati hivi vijana wachukue. He started appetizing them kuwaleta karibu ya kwamba wanaweza kuwa somebody in Kenya. Mimi namwangalia tu. Tumezunguka kwa shamba, nimeambiwa wewe Rigiji, nitakutafutia 300 pale acres, wewe Nyoro. Okay. Tumeenda pale kwake ameweka moto na mahindi tunachoma hapo. Sasa tukiwa hapa kwa moto akasema hapo ndio mimi nilishangaa. That is where now I knew we are in trouble as a community. Akasema wewe Rigiji, wewe Joro, wewe Nchogo. Listen here. If you ever became president, you don't allow a community to have numbers and also have wealth at the same time. Because watakuangaisha. So if you are president na community ni kubwa, ni jukumu lako uhakikishe hawana mali. Wewe Rigiji unasikia? Mimi unajua I'm shocked. Nikashidwa amesahau sisi ni Wakikuyu ama ananiambia makusudi. I am still debating. Mimi sikulala. Tukapewa kila mtu nyumba. I did not sleep the whole night. Nilikuwa nauliza asubuhi itafika saa ngapi niende. Hao vijana yangu wote wawili wanapiga makofi. Ndio kabisa rais. Either they did not understand.
People of the internet, my name is Ruto and this is Political Headache coming to you at 7:30 from the City of Glasses. In the studio I have ladies. I don't know whether I should be calling them women. Should I call it women?
We are women.
Women. That, you know, some people do not like that word, to be called women. Watasema wewe mimi ni nani wako. Have you not had have you not had that? So today I thought that a lot of people are saying that Jagero Ruto ameambiwa 120 days and make sure ya kwamba hiyo kitu is equal. Mimi pia niliambiwa hapa on my podcast, Jagero, we are giving you not 120 days, giving you hours to make sure that that place has got women. On the bench is also the Ambutieno, the gentleman that is always here with me. And I also have journalist who does Citizens Mike, Tricia Wayua. So we'll be talking issues about women, issues about politics. And I am with Wamboi. Yes. Wamboi comes from Safina Party. And then I have Faith Kane. I don't know which party she comes from. UDA? Yeah. UDA, very good. And then I have Bolo, who comes from Civil Society Party. Right. I want to ask you guys, what is the political temperature in this country? How do you like it? So for starters, we had Mr. Joachim, the SG of Safina Party, coming here and akajipiga kifua. Akasema, we are not going to see anybody. Okay? Then the next day, we see the gentleman as a full on his chopper all the way to Wamunyoro. Na nikashanga, a big supporter of Safina Party is in the house today. Wamboi, tengeneza microphone.
Yeah, I'm here. And
what is going on there? What is going on at the party?
I think the party, when our boss went, let me first say hi to all the viewers.
Yes, for sure.
And thank you for having me, because this is my first time to be here.
Yeah.
And the reason our party leader went to Monyoro, first of all, is because even if Monyoro is impeached, he's still a voter in this country.
Okay.
Rigiji has a vote, and he has his wife's vote and his 2 sons.
Yeah.
However, I'm not here to speak for my boss, but I know it is politics.
Yeah.
He's going for presidential seat, so any vote that comes around, it's an equal vote.
Okay.
So you have to understand there are 3 fundamental things that we need always when vying for any position. Number 1 is eligibility.
Okay.
So probably, I don't know whether the Court of Apex will clear Rigiji, and you never know whether he came to understand. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not.
They're saying that position your mic is close to your mouth.
Yes. So probably he realized that maybe I might not be running for this thing. I might not be cleared. So can I look for an ally? Number 2 is do I have a voting block?
Okay.
Probably he does, but he's not eligible.
Okay.
The other thing is, do I have the financial support? Can I really support my presidential ambition?
Yes.
And he's there, he's impeached, and he realized maybe even if I'm cleared, even if I have a block, maybe I don't have the finances.
Okay.
So these are the things that brings candidates together. And like he said, they were he'll be in consultation for a period of 45 days.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was limited to Jimmy.
Okay.
And I don't know why this noise is coming, because Jimmy went to Amunyoro. I have seen several people going there, but there was no noise. I think this is a very formidable...
The reason why there was noise was that there was something he said that I do not like his kind of politics. And then we see him there, and then I asked Joachim, and Joachim is telling me that, look, these are brothers. I asked him, are they brothers from the mountain? He said, no, they are brothers. And then something interesting that Rigiji wrote on his social media immediately after the meeting was very interesting. He said that, look, he is somebody who is experienced in forming government. And then I look back and realize that this gentleman was actually in the back room when 2002 elections were being done, 2007, 2013, 2017. Okay?
Correct.
So are you guys are you a party or operation?
We are a party, and this time we are not going to make other people's government.
Okay.
We want to make our own government, and politics is about interest. And today you also saw Matiang'i writing that he met Simbarati and at the airport, and they shake hands. You know, politics is about interest. When we come here, yeah. So if my interest matches your capacity, we might be here and we call it. At the end of the day, whatever we are looking forward is to make sure that Kasongo goes home early in the morning.
Kasongo goes home early in the morning.
In the morning.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Welcome to the program. I want to go back. I want to go to Bolo. Bolo, when you hear that Junet and Simbarati are meeting at the airport, and then we have Mr. Jimmy Wanjigi meeting with Wamunyoro, and we hear a lot of meetings, especially maybe as somebody who is hosting politicians, I'm always hearing meetings of people. If you look at the Alpha House conversation with Sarah yesterday, Sarah actually asked the gentleman, I forget his name, what was his name? You remember the majority leader, what is his name? The majority leader in parliament, what is his name? I forget his name. Biambo, majority leader in parliament, what is his name? No. There is another guy. The guy that was at Alpha House yesterday. But anyway, let me say what he said. He was asked by Sarah whether they have met with Sifuna. And he said that these are all Kenyans.
Yes.
He did not say we have never met. He said these are all Kenyans. So Bolo, the question I'm asking you is, who is being played here? Because apparently Kasongo is bad, but they are meeting at night over coffee. So who is being played here?
Jagere, thanks for having us. You know, I think Wamboi has made sure that true to it being called political headache, she wants to start by giving us a headache.
Okay.
Because it is interesting for her to say that Wamunyoro is having consultations.
Okay.
And they are not part of the people who are planning to form, government with anyone else, but they are the ones going to him.
Yes.
So it begs a couple of questions. However, the truth is, to your question, there is no one who can form a government right now as it is without a coalition.
Okay.
There is no political party that can form government on its own, as we are right now in Kenya.
Okay.
So whether we like it or not, people will have to meet, people will have to communicate. The question I think then becomes, this time around, the communication is being seen, in broad daylight. Previously, 2, 3, 4, 5 months to the election, then you'd realize, okay, there is a coalition government, there's a coalition pact that's being put together. And it would throw all of us, in a state of confusion.
Okay.
There's, however, some factions that we would always know would be together regardless.
Okay.
I think post-Baba succession has really thrown a lot of us into a lot of questions. We would know that right about now, conversations would not be there because we would know Kalonzo would gravitate towards him.
Yes.
I think in the last election, the surprise was Mudavadi, the two twins,
okay,
as they are being called out here. Mudavadi.
You ever call them a name? I don't know that name. Akuna Ukwa.
Aki and Ukwa. So those two, I think, were a surprise for us in 2022. But the truth is, we would always know how people would gravitate towards each other. So this time round, the talks are in broad daylight. They've started happening way early in advance. So I don't think anyone is being played. I know citizens, especially right now, because citizens are way politically active than they've always been. They know that conversations are happening. I think citizens, because we are also very emotional right now, we are very skeptical of who is meeting who. We don't want the person we are following to meet with someone who we think has got questionable character. And because of the panic that is there, our politicians today will say, I do not want to be seen with Bolo. And tomorrow, they are taking a photo and saying, oh, it was a coincidence. Tomorrow, Wamboi is on the podium hitting Bolo. Yeah. But the next day, she has gone to visit I Love Bolo sign, So I think those are some of the things that are giving citizens an uproar. But we know that they are meeting.
But the question that perhaps I will ask myself right now is that, okay, we know what these people are saying about each and every person. So we know the kind of feeling that that Sifuna has towards the president. We know the kind of we know the kind of feelings that Gachagua has towards the president, and we know what Jimmy said about Wamunyoro. And so the interesting thing now is that, okay, how does it play out? Because am I as a Gen Z going to be happy that Sifuna, my guy, is going to somebody else that I did not approve of?
You see, Jagero, that's why I said, as a citizen, you would not be happy to see that the person you are following has gone to meet with someone who has always been looked at as someone with a questionable character. So if I am following Sifuna, for example, and Sifuna has always said that we are working with anybody and everybody except William Ruto, the minute I see him with William Ruto, I will of course be up in arms. If I am following Rigiji and Rigiji says the one person we are not following is William Ruto, and tomorrow I see him with it, then I will be up in arms. Now that is the same thing with Jimmy Wanjigi. And one boy asked, why is it that everyone else is meeting, but the minute we are meeting, then it becomes an issue? That's because you've gone against what you have told us.
Yes.
You have gone against the word that you have given us. And in politics, in the business of selling hope, your word is everything. So if we see that this early in the game, you already don't have a stand, or you're taking us to a bridge that we didn't think, because those who are following Rigiji, those who are following Jimmy Wanjigi, are people who they've not found a home, quote unquote, in UDA. They don't feel the united opposition is a home for them.
Yeah.
Probably they are questioning that Linda Mwananchi does not have any definitive structures, and so they are running to Safina, and the person they have run to,
also running.
Amewarusha kwa mto. He's thrown you into the river with a crocodile. So of course you will begin to
I think there's a misconception, Jagero.
Okay.
Because it doesn't mean because let's say if Jimmy said you Wamonyoro, you don't have an agenda.
Okay.
Probably, what if Wamonyoro agreed, don't have an agenda?
All right.
And Jimmy says, okay, here is the agenda, and this is the consultation that we are making.
Okay.
So we should not believe, because at some point, you know, if I was following Jimmy, for example, and someone else was following Wamonyoro, you remember even when Ruto used to stand and saying, you know, this opposition, hawana agenda, hawana doing any. What if now Jimmy brings in the agenda? Because remember, Jimmy has always been saying he's not either in one term, either two term, then what? Because he was asking them, fine, we're going to remove Ruto. That is gone.
Okay.
But now after Ruto goes, then what?
Okay.
So we will bring somebody who by December 2027 we are now again crying. So we need to bring in an agenda, and this is the consultation that we are saying they need to continue, whether it is through Sifuna, whether it is through Wamonyoro. We have to bring, because everybody has something to bring on the table.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? Faith, forgive me, but I want to. She's raised something that I want to. Do you feel like Jimmy has got some knowledge? Would you be bold enough to say that Jimmy has got some knowledge that we don't see in Wamonyoro? Would you be bold to say that?
I've never had Wamonyoro speak about the odious debts.
Okay.
So he has. Yes, he has. And to be honest with you, because I don't want to go to the agenda of the illegal debt.
Okay.
If this country we continue paying debts, even if we bring in an angel, because most of our collection, our tax collection, is going to pay debts.
Okay.
So as long as we continue with that debt payment, we will never recover from this from the whatever economy we are going through.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does.
Okay, so Faith, welcome to the program. What do you feel? What is your feeling? How do you feel when somebody says that Ruto is gone, that is done and dusted, and we are moving on to what? As somebody coming from UDA, and welcome to the program, what do you think about that? You guys have done nothing, right? 4 years, nothing.
Thank you so much, Jagero. It's actually not a shock when I hear people saying Ruto must go. You know, Ruto has not done anything.
Can you push this a little bit too closer to you?
Thank you.
Yes.
So it doesn't come to me as a shock, because we've had it so many times from different people, from Wamonyoro, from Sifuna, from Kalonzo. But it's not a shock because it's something they're saying, but the strategy, they're not telling us how Ruto will go. They're not bringing us to how Ruto is going to be a one term. And most of the same thing we are saying, they don't have an agenda. The agenda is William Samoei Ruto. For example, the other time we saw Sifuna in Kisii with the Linda Mwananchi Brigade. In Kisii, the whole time in the rally, they're not talking about what they're going to do alternatively to Mwananchi. What they're talking about is how Ruto was failed, how William Samoei Ruto has abducted the young people, how he's a killer, how he's corrupt, but no one is mentioning. So I asked myself, you organize a rally that you're going to popularize Ruto, to sell Ruto, or you're going to tell people what you're going to do to them as an alternative government. So it doesn't come to me as a shock when you say Ruto must go, because we all can agree that Ruto is a strategist and is putting in the work, and
Okay.
we know ground anafanya kazi. So when you keep talking about Ruto must go, but you're not saying how, then yeah.
What is Ruto doing? I would like to know. What do you know against the 86 promises that he gave when he's gallivanting the country all over the place, right?
The gallivanting is a big term.
He opened the 850 meters overpass.
What?
Just,
okay, you want me to withdraw the word gallivanting? Okay, I've withdrawn it and I've apologized. When he was moving around, when we started our nini, it was in a Kikuyu church, speaking Kikuyu. Okay. But anyway, what do you think about his track record?
I think I can give him 70%.
Okay.
Yeah, considering whatever he has done. When you start by infrastructure, for example.
Okay.
I currently know in any county you can point at what Ruto has done.
Okay.
I can give you examples from where I come from. I come from Migori County. So he always mentions about the roads he's done there. And when you talk about affordable housing, that is there. And the bypass that we're talking about, the 400 meters at the launch.
Yes.
So Ruto has done a lot. According to whatever he had promised, the bottom-up economy, we can see is delivered to a certain point. I'm not saying it's 100% perfect, but at least it's made progress. Yeah.
Well, you were a supporter of Ruto before 2022?
I was. Yeah.
You were? That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you never supported Raila as a Luo?
I supported Raila, but I voted for Ruto.
Oh, yeah, why?
Because by that time when I joined, I was just 21.
Okay.
So I was still very young.
Okay.
But when I compared the manifestos that Raila had and the ones that Ruto was bringing in, I decided to vote for Ruto. Yeah.
That's interesting. So supporting means what in this case?
Supporting means agreeing to whatever is presenting.
Okay.
Yeah. And now the support comes, we are affirming the support through voting.
All right.
So that is what I did. I voted for the president in
Okay.
2022.
You did not think that Raila was going to deliver for the country?
Nope.
Interesting, Bolo. How much? Yes.
Before you ask me, sir, I don't forget your question.
Okay.
I was itching when she was talking about. I do agree that some members of the opposition have not given us an alternative.
Okay.
But the question that I've always had in my mind, and even as you were asking her what she thinks of Ruto's performance, the one thing that Ruto's supporters will never address is the things he is being accused of. Are they true?
Yes.
Are they happening? When you say you've had people say that Ruto must go because people are being killed, is it true that people are being killed or not? When you say that Ruto is being, people are saying Ruto must go because SHA is not working, is it true? When you say that people, and when we say working, we don't mean active. There's a difference between something being active and something effectively working.
Okay.
So the things that he's being accused of, the things that you're saying that we hear Ruto saying, people saying Ruto must go, and the things that are being accused of, are they true? That's the question I always see them
No, I can answer that.
because we always yes, it's true. The opposition might not have an agenda, but that does not in any way mean that.
So Faith, I'm going to come back to you because I want to put something in so that you answer them together. The other day we were in Karioko. Jobless youth were put in a hall to be more. I don't know. They were saying youth empowerment, right? But then Fikirini is now leaving the show that he had put up, and then he's giving 10,000 that he claims that he had borrowed from somebody, and then a young man, Mr. Cecil, is shot through the heart and dies from because he was asking for more money. I don't know. What do you think about that? Even as you answer that question, what kind of empowerment do you think was happening at Karioko?
Okay, first of all, there's a point where you really pressed me on the spot.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with Raila. I support Raila. So when you say that,
I've never supported Raila. So don't be afraid of not supporting Raila.
So back to the Fikirini Jacobs issue. Seso was my good friend.
Yes.
Yeah, Seso was my friend, and it's very unfortunate when now people are talking about he was a goon. It might be all those things, but it was still our person. It was still human.
Okay.
So whatever happened, we don't really know what transpired in the car, but I feel whatever happened, Fikirini should be held account. It should face the justice.
Okay.
Yeah, like it should be brought to books, and if at all the investigation, I don't know what they'll come up with, it should really look into that issue. So the kind of empowerment.
Okay.
I don't know what was going on in Kariako. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, but you're a Gen Z, and you sort of have a feeling, because you've been where Mbadi is doing some of this empowerment. What exactly is going on? Because how do you do empowerment on Tuesday at 10 a.m.? I mean, aren't they supposed to be at work, so to speak?
All right. So on the empowerment, I've never been to any Mbadi's empowerment.
Okay.
Yeah, stop looking at me like that. What I've been to public participation on finance bill as a youth, but I've never been to Mbadi's empowerment. But I know there are empowerments going on around, but most of the time they're done over the weekends.
Okay.
But I still feel on the empowerment thing, I feel there's a way the government can do it, not bringing people together and giving them money.
Okay.
Yeah. What if this money is placed in somewhere so that women can not just bringing people together then give them handouts. They don't appreciate it as form of empowerment. They take it as a handout from the government.
Jagero, sorry to cut you short, but it's a very sad thing. It's actually when we talk about a human life. And it's also very funny that it is those people who are in one term that are calling for justice for the young man.
Okay.
It is very sad that still this person is still working. The officer is still working. Fikiri, the PS, I don't know. I've not even heard him apologize. And
he gave a statement. He didn't apologize.
He gave a statement. That's not an apology.
Yeah. He just narrated what supposedly happened.
Yes, and if you read as the statement, it is actually like it's not self-justification, but you can see it is like blaming you know, why were you here? Why were you in my car? And this is a call for everybody. These people they already know that young people are struggling. They don't have a job. At 10 a.m., who do you get in any place if these people are working? And this is a call because when these young men are called for these kind of jobs, and the guy, I understand, I've seen him severally on, wherever there is mandamano, wherever there is something. I think I've seen his face severally. This is not somebody that was very new to them.
Okay.
And if they can, really they can kill someone like that, who they already know, people should be very careful, even the young people. Because when this government ends up, when they are finished using you at some point, they now start labeling you. Remember the times of Mungeke, they knew who they were coming for. So when we start extrajudicial killing, you will be seen, this was so and so, we will have seen you with a machete, we have seen you with a crude weapon in town. You see people are not even sorry that the guy was actually killed. So when people are being called goons, or you call yourself a government goon and you think you are safe, I think it's time for people to understand.
Yeah, and I want to stay with you because we have Lichuma that was arrested by police officers in broad daylight, and then was aliokotwa kando ya barabara a few days later. We have Bob Njagi that was arrested on the eve of the commemoration of the and then a charge for treason, and then when Orengo was asking the officer what treason is, he couldn't answer, and shortly after that they had to let them go. I mean, then we have the killings of 2024. I mean, so these are the accusations that UDA is facing. So what do you think about that?
Okay, so first of all, I want to get into when she talked about government goons.
Okay.
She termed them government goons.
Yes.
I don't really think goons are owned by anyone.
Okay.
Like, nobody owns goon.
But we have seen government, we have seen police work together with the goons. Even yesterday in
No,
TC.
you see, on the video that you're referring to, that the police walk along with goods, if you play that video, I think we're just playing at a section where you see the police car and the goons in front calling wherever the
machete.
Yeah, not the machetes, the veggie.
Yes.
When you look at the context of that video, on protest, the business community that also hired people to protect their businesses.
Okay.
So the police were called that people were causing destruction. So when the police are coming to go, they also find people who are also going to protect the same business. So you want the police to arrest these people? No. So that is the part of the video that is playing. You see people carrying rungus, and then also the police behind them. So the police who are going to the scene, and then the people are also marching there. Yeah, and then the police job is not to come and arrest someone because they're holding rungus, then turn them good. No.
Okay.
So when what I was saying, I don't think goons are owned by anyone.
Okay.
Jagero, if you want goons, you will get goons. And you'll be so surprised to realize that the same goons you've hired today is the same goons Bolo can hire and work for them.
Okay.
So there is no one who wants goons. If I want a goon,
But the government can use them.
anyone can use them.
Does the government use them?
I don't know.
I was talking to Bolo, and Bolo was in. Bolo, do you support? What do you love this government? What is? You want to say something?
I haven't finished.
Okay, please do.
So I was saying, when you want a Luo speaking goon, you know where to get them from.
A Luo speaking goon?
Yeah. When you want a Kikuyu speaking goon, you know where to get them from. Same to other tribes. So there is no goon like this one is government goon.
Okay.
They are always there. And this goon culture is not something that started today. It's been there. Nani wanasiasa wenye wanaduna sisi wenyewe.
I think when they say it is government goons, they actually what I think they actually mean here is that government has hired goons.
No.
That's what they mean.
Yes.
That's what they mean. They're not saying that the government will govern.
Yeah, in 2024. And I will
also
tell
the
you
2024
that in
protest.
some of the areas, they were alighting from a government vehicle.
To go.
So you cannot tell me that they are not government goons, yet they are being ferried in with government vehicles.
Okay.
You cannot ferry someone that you're not aligned with when
Correct.
it is war. Because in that particular scenario, we are fighting for our lives, literally. So you can't say that they just happened to give them a lift because they were both going to protect business.
I want to go to Bolo. Bolo, how much do you like this government? I mean, do you like it? You don't like it? Are you a one-term? You are two-term?
You ask me, do I love this government? Chikero, I have nothing to love about this government.
Okay.
I am struggling to breathe. And I know there are a lot of factors that they can throw in. They can say they came in, they didn't find money. There's the war that they have been terming. But these are things that they spoke about even before getting into this government. So they sold us hopes up there. They sold us expectations. They told us exactly how they're going to do it. But they've come in and the ball game is very different. I knew that right now we'd start having, free diapers, free sanitary towels, some of the things that they had shared that we'd be having gender parity bills. So for me, do I love this government? I don't. Because I am struggling. No one loves anything where they're struggling. So I don't. I wanted to there's something you said about Lichuma being arrested and Bob Njagi being arrested. Chakiro, I'm asking myself why we are confusing arrests and abductions. Because when you're arrested, there is a process that is followed.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
They know that you will, once you're arrested, this is the station you will be taken to. You something has to be written. There's a process that is followed. But this one that there is some drama. You're pulled into some vehicle. People have to go to 5 police stations looking for you. Eventually you're picked from somewhere. That is not an arrest. That cannot be termed as an arrest because there is nothing to show that you are in this station. There is nothing to show what you're being charged for. The process has not been followed. So when we term certain things as arrests, then we are justifying how they're being done.
Okay. When I ask you whether you like this government, you're telling me that you're not breathing. But what exactly is going on with this government? Because if you ask Odhiambo there with a government apologies, he will tell you that Ruto is working extra.
Yes.
Ruto is doing such an amazing work.
Yes.
But also when you ask him, he's just talking about roads and Rironi and so on and so forth and them traveling with Ruto. I don't know.
Roads, they say Mgala mwe lakini haki yake.
Yes.
So I will give him the bit
the
of
roads.
the roads. Because this country is now a construction site. You know how for those who have toddlers will understand when you get into your sitting room and Legos are everywhere.
Yes.
That's what's happening right now to this country. We are seeing him do roads, right? But there are certain things that he promised
Can I
seeing.
stop you there at the roads? Why is he really doing them?
For me, if I were to be asked, and I let me say this is an assumption so that after here I get home safe.
No. Ruto is a good man. Don't go there.
If you were to steal money or you were to reward yourself, the easiest way to do it is through the tendering processes. So, and I think it was actually on this show and Odhiambo was on the panel where someone broke down that 600 meters of the bypass was 3.5 billion.
Yeah.
And the overpass that had been launched previously did not even cost that much. It was on this particular show that those figures were actually broken down.
Okay.
And so for me, just listening to that and actually looking at the budgets that are being passed and looking at how they are being done, the only answer I can give as to why there's a lot of construction happening right now in terms of roads in the infrastructure area is because that is the quickest way to get money. That is the quickest way to steal. That's the quickest way for corruption. We're already seeing what's happening in the health sector. The other area where you can, amass a lot of wealth is through the tendering process of the roads. So do I think it's genuine? No, I absolutely don't think it is.
Faith, what do you think? Why are we building roads? I mean, are we going to be walking on roads? What's going on there, Faith?
Jugura, there's something Bolo said that is very interesting.
Okay.
And, there's a reason why thieves double lock their doors.
Okay.
No thief want to be stolen from.
Okay.
And there's a reason why hakuna mchawi anataka mazishi kwake.
Okay.
So they will always believe that kuna kamwizi anakuja. So what is happening is that the reason why Bolo is saying that it's a cheap way to quick money, the opposition, I want to tell me the opposition or the alternative, whatever they call themselves, there's this notion that kuna pesa inaibiwa.
Okay.
So they think the roads are being done, kuna wizi inaendelea na wako, they're not part of that wizi. So that is why wanapinga. And she also asked which roads. The roads everywhere. They're everywhere. I would have counted them if we had that
Please
time.
do.
Let me start with where I come from in Migori. I will go county per county. If at all, Jagero, we have that time.
We don't have that time. Don't go. Usi Ruto sana.
Let me count.
Okay. You count.
But Jagero, you're allowing her to run away with the statement of saying there's a notion that money is being stolen when we actually have She's
actually talking to her.
Yeah.
Because she used to be in Jubilee with Uhuru Kenyatta. And so,
I know what a construction site is.
So, yeah. Expressway.
I'm no longer.
Are you accepting? Are you agreeing with me that roads is one of the quickest way to amass the wealth?
But if you want to be rich, there's no way going to be rich by working hard.
Oh, you're work smart.
So I will tell that as an agreement.
So they think.
So the Ambu who is coming from government is telling us that you're actually working smart.
Is it wrong to work smart? Yeah.
They have not disputed that it is. They have not disputed my statement.
What is working smart with the Ambu?
Let me take you through 1 second in class.
Okay.
When you want to grow in a capitalistic environment, one thing you must understand is the element of the tenets of capitalism is that it is profit at the expense of anything. Okay. The reason as to why capitalists have more money is because they underpay their staff.
Okay.
They try to avoid what is called overheads.
Okay.
So they will always coup corruption. I've discussed with you during the Wash episode in WJ how there's budgeted corruption.
Okay.
It happens all across. And that's the best thing. But we have departments or institutions which should be able to check onto that. The challenge is we're having runaway corruption. And then we're just piling it at one person's doorstep. If this person decides to crack on corruption heavily, you will see some people shouting, my tribe, my community. But even in that essence, you must have seen that during Ruto's regime, unlike Uhuru's regime, where in Uhuru's regime, there was an upshoot of dollar millionaires from 1,000 in about 2012 to 8,000 by the time Uhuru was leaving, which means the economy of Kenya was being controlled by how many people? 8,000 people. Today, under Ruto, it has actually reduced. Because you can't just have people making money aimlessly without clear channels of how this money is made. Okay? But in that essence, even if you look at fighting corruption, you will realize so many PSS have gone home. In Ruto's regime, you try corruption, you're gone. It's just a perception out here of some people who don't want to work hard in terms of reading and researching.
But I'm taking you back. Allow me to take you back. So Ruto also budgeted for corruption.
Where?
No, but that's what you've been saying alone.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That is what you are saying.
Corruption, you go, but Dwale is still there and see what's happening in health.
Yeah. What has Dwale done?
We see the scandals that are happening right now under the health.
What 11 billion?
11 billion stolen from SHA.
Let me explain that.
It is not stolen. It's an audit query, Jagero.
What happened?
Let's have some decency in discussion.
Speaking about Uhuru as if Ruto was not in that camp.
No, Uhuru was a thief. Uhuru was a thief. Uhuru was a drug addict. Uhuru is a prince who does not understand.
No, Odhiambo, you are lacking the
Let me finish. I was on a different tangent, but she's chiming in. So we'll put where that thing deserves to be. Yes,
you started by saying that there is budgeted corruption.
Let me finish this one, then I come back to you.
No, can I take you back?
You're taking me back. Let me just finish this one.
Okay.
It's an important point she's raising. Please.
Okay.
Uhuru defiled us.
Okay.
Surely. Ruto, Kibaki left us somewhere.
She's also saying that
Ruto
was in that government. Actually, when the Euro bond issue came up,
yes,
Ruto ran to Citizen.
Yes.
Akasema kama kuna pesa,
yes,
tumetoa nje na imekuja hapa kufanya kazi, niulize mimi.
Of course.
That's what he said. So now,
what is wrong with that?
The defilement was with Ruto or with Ruto?
It was with Uhuru. Uhuru was the thief.
So why was he?
Okay, let me ask you. Ruto is stealing, Sindio?
Yes.
Let's say that Ruto is stealing.
Okay. No. You're asking me now.
I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying. I'm not asking you.
You're saying it's fine.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Okay.
Ruto, I want to go by their statements.
Okay.
Ruto is stealing.
Okay.
Ruto is taking excessive loans. Ruto is too bad. In fact, it's the worst president that has ever been.
Okay.
The roads are being built. The markets are being built. Even from where she comes from, there's an ESP market that is constructed by Ruto. Uhuru was a very good president. He never stole. What was he doing with our money? Answer me, any of you.
Jagero, I don't know who was on the floor, but what I was trying to say is, it is not I'm here to defend Uhuru.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, it is very unfortunate that we can come here to defend corruption.
Okay.
The corruption of this country trickles down to the common mwananchi. When this government took over from it's like a continuation, because Ruto was the deputy president for 10 years, for God's sake. So what happened is, remember, he had to create a new system from NHIF to SHA that costed the country 104 billion. This SHA right now, you are told, people go to queue, it's no longer paying, it's no longer doing what. There's so many scandals that I've seen, even Sifuna grilling Duale in the Senate.
Okay.
So we cannot say just because roads are being, it is good to construct roads.
Okay.
But you see, there is always something called that you cannot build roads for dead people. Kenyans have to survive. And we cannot have people dying from hospitals, then we say we are building them roads. And the only road that I've seen, Jagero, when I was traveling is the Nakuru Mount Summit. And that's a PPP road. It is NSSF and, it is not the Kenyan government that is building that road. I've been, I was speaking to Joaquin, and sorry to say, I told him, there was this day that we went to Homa Bay. And the moment you cross over to Homa Bay, the roads there are terrible. And he was laughing at me when I told him, I don't know what happens to the Western or Nyanza leaders, because the only thing that I think I see from them mostly in parliament is eloquence and the good suit, the fitting suits.
Our boys out of order.
Yes.
On behalf of Homa Bay people.
It is true, because
I'm going to ask you about Homa Bay if that's where you want us to go.
Because for us, people from the mountain, if we have a place where we really recycle, we don't recycle leaders, it is Mount Kenya. And probably that's why we are not seeing any roads being constructed, because our roads are okay. They were constructed a long time ago. If you come to my village, we have water, we have electricity, and I come from a very remote area in Moranga. So actually you find sometimes that these people, there are people who would come to who will visit a place like Moranga and get jealous. They think that maybe our MPs get more money than the rest, so that we don't celebrate these things when our people are still struggling. Remember when Bolo said this government, no, not Bolo, she said this government found empty coffers. Remember, this country collects over 2.5 trillion every year. We only need about maybe 500 billion for education, 500 billion for our health. So there is money. Nobody should lie to you that there is no money. There is money. But like our friend said, when we budget for this corruption, they already know these houses that they have built. Like my governor yesterday was saying,
who is your governor?
Irongo Kangata. Yesterday he was talking about the houses that the government is building, and he was giving he was feeling that we are putting so much money in things that are not helping Kenyans. We are now 4 years after Ruto took this government. These houses are unoccupied. Nobody has benefited from this.
But they were there even during Uhuru's time.
I'm talking about the ones in Murang'a. I'm talking about my governor, what he said. Because most of these houses, even the ones in Kikuyu, the ones in...
I wonder, how many koffias are you wearing?
So the issue is...
Am I impartial?
I'm the people's representative.
Okay.
So when you represent the people, then these houses should be going to the people.
But what I wanted to ask Faith is that we are building markets, we are building roads, we are building stadiums, we are building
houses,
all these things. But even these markets that you're building, who is going to sell in them? I mean, that is the question that the opposition is always asking the people in government. Who is going to sell in these houses?
Okay. So, Jagera, before that, I think we skipped something, the SHA thing.
Okay.
Yeah, someone raised
11 billion.
11 billion. So, and also, she mentioned that empty coffers. Actually, I didn't mention empty coffers. It's the Gachagua that your party leader visited that talked about the empty coffers. It's not me. So, when you talk about SHA and HIF, SHA is working. SHA is working. So, the 11 billion, where it is coming from, Jagero, it's not like this 11 billion is missing. Let me tell you what was happening in NHIF. I come from a place called Muhuru Bay.
Muhuru Bay.
In Muhuru Bay, in Migori.
In Migori.
In Muhuru Bay, we don't have a level 5 hospital.
Okay.
So you find that in Sham, someone would record an hospital that they treated a cancer patient. They did chemotherapy somewhere like Muhuru Bay. And NHIF would pay.
NHIF for SHA?
NHIF that time would pay.
Okay.
Like we'll just, at the end of the month, you do a report, then you request from the government that you owe us 11 million, you owe us 2 million or 3 million.
Okay.
But now what is happening in SHA, the 11 billion that was missing, it's the 11 billion that the government refused to pay.
So they paid
no.
11 billion at a cost of 104
no,
billion.
No, it's not at a cost. This is what was happening. It's because the hospitals, they demanded this 11 billion, right? That is the amount that they wanted to be paid.
Through fraudulent claims.
Yeah, through fraudulent claims. And then the government asked, why should we pay you 11 billion? You're saying this hospital, you don't even have an MRI machine. Then you've requested for that money here. We are not going to pay this money.
What? The 11 billion we're talking about is during SHA?
No, yeah, that is what I'm saying. That is why SHA refused to pay it. You don't get it.
Oh,
I think Bolo gets it now.
Yeah, and I guess that you are misinforming us.
Yeah. No,
She's actually I'm actually confused.
Yes.
I don't even understand what she's talking about. I thought she's talking about why we moved from...
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah, how we moved from NHF to SHA.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm telling you, the reason why SHA refused to pay the 11 billion is because you can't be requesting for 11 billion. We know very well the hospital, your hospital is not able to offer such services.
Okay.
So,
Faith, the 11 billion was already paid. It is later on that they realized this 11 billion that has already been paid has been going there were
fictitious hospitals.
Yes, most of them being private hospitals that belongs to, I think,
and some people were arrested.
So it is money that had already been paid.
It was paid, yes.
Yes, it is not money that the government has refused to pay. It is money that they've already paid. It is gone.
Then audit was done.
So when the audit happened is when we realized that this money that we've already paid has actually gone to claims that are not there, that do not exist.
Okay.
And where I think
and that's now when they started doing the process of migrating from NHIF now to this SHA.
No,
and
that was
cost
after migration.
This was
after.
This was
after migration.
So why did
operation?
Please, why did we move from NHIF to SHA?
Because when Uhuru was the president.
Okay.
And I think both Odhiambo and Ken and Faith have spoken about it. One thing that they will not tell you is that in 2015, Uhuru actually said anyone who's been named in this particular, in EACC, you need to step aside, which included Charity Ngilu.
Okay.
Right? So he did actually at some point say, these ones, you need to step aside. Whether it was, for political reasons or whether it was fictitious, but he actually went ahead and said it. Now, we expected to see that when it comes to Uhuru, we actually, to William Ruto, we expected to see William Ruto say, there are a lot of scandals under the health docket, and you are the one there. We can't be having scandal after scandal under your docket, and you're still serving. Those are the kind of things we want to see when you're saying that someone is fighting corruption. We want to actually see them tasking people.
Faith, why did we move from NHIF to SHA?
Because the government was wasting so much money on NHIF, and that is what I think you guys were not listening to me. I started.
I think the reason why we were not listening to you is because you are saying two things at the same time.
Okay.
Because I think we were talking about 11 billion, and you were also talking about the movement from NHIF.
So I was giving you
SHA.
context before that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I started by saying that.
I can see the other ones to help you.
No, let me continue.
Okay.
I was saying, I come from a place called Muhurubei.
Okay.
And we don't have a level 5 hospital in Muhurubei. So if the hospital there is called Tagachi Hospital.
Okay.
So when Tagachi today wakes up and says during that time, or the private hospitals there, says that this time we had an inpatient that costed us 1 million.
Okay.
And they were admitted for 2 days.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Because we don't have that hospital there.
We don't have that hospital there.
Yeah.
But now NHIF was not looking into this thing. It was
Okay.
like the hospital had requested for 11 million, but now that is it. So the reason why SHA is receiving resistant and why now we had to move to SHA,
Okay.
it's because if right now you come from Tagacha Hospital and you say that you spent 11 million in treating a cancer patient,
Okay.
the government can't pay you that because only, for example, maybe Kenyatta Hospital is the only hospital that if the rest they've spent this money on SHA,
Okay.
on a cancer patient, it's traceable.
So why don't you just let it be? Why can't you just let the name remain and fix the problem? Why are you completely changing the name and everything else and the platform? Just fix the platform.
Even the employees under NHIF had to reapply.
Yes. Why do you have to do that?
Because the whole system was bad.
So the one
And you have to rename it.
Yeah, the one we have now is good and it's working.
Okay. I want to go back to you, Bolo. Do you feel like this government, people just don't like it, or because when you say that you're not breathing, what exactly do you mean? What do you want from the government? Oxygen?
Well, for starters, we could start with them actually keeping the promises. You know, Jagero.
Okay.
And I hope this is not what the Gen Z would call TMI, too much info. But as a person, you have your goals, right?
Okay.
Where you say, in this year, I want to start, my family, I want to do this. So as Ruth Bola had said, now in 2023, I want to now start having children, especially because this new government will be giving us free diapers, I have done my calculation.
Okay.
But lo and behold, there is nothing like free diapers. There's nothing like free sanitary towels. That is number one.
Ruto promised free diapers.
Yes, he did.
And what else?
Yes, did he not?
He did.
Yeah, he did. So
free fertilizer.
There's certain, I think from
the price is fair.
I think that is the first thing. The second thing is we are being heavily taxed. We are really being heavily taxed. With the most recent one, I want us to talk about the increase in fuel.
Okay.
And when you touch fuel, you've touched everything. Something like salt that has never risen in terms of cost for the first time. I think most people would not even know how much salt is, but this time round,
I still don't know.
Increasing. You are one of the lucky ones.
But surely salt. Tell us the price of something else. Salt.
For the first time, so the cost of salt has risen. But what I was saying about the increase in fuel, we knew that post this government, we are going to have, the economic burden would not be so much on us. So we equally adjusted our lives with knowing that once this government is sworn in like this, things are going to change. Things are going to be different. Things are going to change for the better, including are we able to put food on our table. Right now, there are very many families that I can tell you, especially in Nairobi, we have a huge population of single mothers. And they're saying that for the first time now, they can barely afford 1 meal in a day. They can the numbers have increased. We are seeing, we saw the protests that happened with matatus, right? And when they came back, they had increased the prices, and we were telling them a distance that would cost 70 shillings is now 120. And we're asking them, but you're the ones who decided to come back And they were telling us, but you're the ones who voted for this government. They would tell the citizens that. So remember, all these costs are increasing. Look at someone's pay slip right now with the housing, taxes and all these things. So the cost is increasing, but your pay slip is still the same. Avenues of making money are also shrinking in this country. We've seen a number of companies close because they can't keep up. Where are those unemployed people going to? We've seen high levels of insecurity in this country since this new government came in. So right now, you can't, if you are someone who would even work overnight, or you had a company that would work overnight, right now you can't do that because your people cannot go back home at midnight. Your people cannot go back home at 3 a.m. If you had a hospital that could manage to operate, a private hospital that could now manage to operate overnight, you now cannot do that. You now say that this hospital runs from here to here. We are no longer taking emergency cases because the environment in itself is not stable. It's not favorable for businesses to thrive. It's not stable for families to thrive. It's not stable for even the mental health of this country. Right now, the number of young people with mental health issues has increased. So when I say we are not breathing, it means that socially you cannot engage because the people you're going to engage with have barely afforded a meal. How you're going to get there has also been affected. When I say that I cannot breathe in this government, it means that those who had a pay slip and those who have pay slips are the ones who support back home. Their pay slips now have shrunk, right? So when I say I'm not able to breathe, it is socially, it is mentally, it is economically.
But you are I'm imagining that you're Luo and you come from Homa Bay, but most of your Luo sisters and brothers are saying Ruto is the next best thing after sliced bread. Why do you differ so sharply with your fellow? I mean, if you go to Kisumu, they are singing 2-term. If you go to Homa Bay, who is singing 1-term in Homa Bay? So how can you be the odd one out? Why are you so clever? I mean,
I can show you and I can play.
One minute, I'm getting back to you.
Okay.
Yes.
Jagero, the past 4 weeks or so, I have been shuttling between Kisumu, Homa Bay and Migori. Even to Muhurube, where she comes from, as a prominent supporter of the president, when you're going there is a place called Kadem. That does not seem to be part of this country. Because Kadem has got no road. When I mean it doesn't have a road, I don't mean that the road is rough. I mean you start passing through bushes. That's what I mean when I say no road. When you go to Kadem, they don't have, which is not far from Murube, she will bear witness. They don't have electricity. They're struggling with water. They don't have the basic amenities in such areas.
They're drinking from the lake.
There's someone who comes to provide water twice a week. If you miss it, you have to wait until the next time they're coming for you to buy water. Right? That is in a country that's got an MCA, an MP, and all the way up. Now,
but some of the issues you're explaining fall squarely at the doorstep of Nyasuna Wanga. Why is
Migori? First of all, is not in Homa Bay; it is in Migori.
Yes, Migori. But even if Migori, then we are going to the ODM guy.
Allow me to land because the I'm going with this. You asked me. Let me land.
Why are you odd one out?
I am a Luo woman, so I do things at a proper pace.
Okay.
Now, I have a recording that I can play for you when I was in Kisumu where they are saying we are 2-term because there's this money that we are getting.
Okay.
And I was in Kisumu right around the time when they were in Kirembe. And I kept on asking them, hey, this 2-term, you guys have really embraced it. And they were saying, but 2-term is giving us money. So right now we are singing money. In fact, right now we are being paid before, because it was the eve before. We are being paid, but we really don't want this 2-term. So the question then to them from myself would be, so who are you guys voting? And they say, now that is the problem. That is the problem because we are not seeing these other people really engage with us. That is where the issue is. So they are not necessarily singing 2-term because they believe in the cause of 2-term and because it is the best thing that has happened to them, at least not in Kisumu, right? Now I want to come to Homa Bay. Before I go back to the Murube.
Yeah.
When you go to Homa Bay, we've seen a lot of national government projects. that I will give it to them. And I think I even said it when I was giving the Swahili proverb. We've seen a lot of government projects there, but I want you to talk to the citizens there, and I don't mean just online, the sentiments online, because people are scared nowadays of the trace of online. I mean, you could speak your mind and the next thing tomorrow you disappear. I want you to talk to people, to talk to the boda guys, go to the markets, talk to the young people at the grassroots level in the different constituencies. They will tell you, we will, even if we are giving Ruto, because we don't have anyone who has come to speak to us, the leaders who are aligning with him, we are not going to put.
But what you're saying is very concerning, because
they are feeling they don't have an option.
If they are saying that there is nobody who has come to talk to them, it is Sifuna is here,
yes,
has not gone to talk to them.
Yes.
Kalonzo Musyoka has not gone to talk to them. Her party leader,
yes.
Jimmy Wanjigi went to Yugis, but did not reach that end of the world. And we have almost, Matiang'i has never gone there. So the question that I want to ask my dear Wamboi, you were asking a question, right?
Well, I think she's partly answered my question, because it was about why do we have to keep on blaming the presidency rather than putting our local leaders to account, that is in our regions, because where you come from, where you're saying that you do not have roads, we have local leaders, and we have roads that squarely fall under the responsibility of your local leaders. So that is what I was asking.
So I think first, to just clarify, I don't come from Migori. I come from Homa Bay. Where they don't have roads is Murubi. Now, but that's on a light note. We do, the buck starts and stops with the president in certain issues. I do agree that we do have local roads, and we have got necessities that lie on the docket of our local leaders. But I want us to be as realistic as possible. There's what is there by the books, but then there's the reality as it is. A docket like a member of county assembly, and they have complained severally. They've said, for me to be able to actually push for projects to come to my area, I have literally got to sing the praises of the governor from morning to evening, because I expect that that's the only way that I can push for some things to come to my area. We've had governors complain of the delay in funds. So if they are complaining day in, day out that the government owes them funds, how are we expecting them to run their counties? How are we expecting them to be able to push for certain things and to make some of the development records that we expect them to make, where they do not have these funds? By the time this money is coming in, just like any of us, if you have Fuliza on your phone, for example, the minute that money hits your account, first of all, it goes into paying the debt. Whatever you can get again from that amount is less what you had previously. That's the same thing that's happening. By the time the government delayed funds are coming in, and again, back starts and stops with the president. That's why a number of us are complaining about it. Look at the member of parliament who then oversights the budget that can then dictate which road has been allocated for funds. I want us to be very realistic. We saw our MPs run to the president post 2022. We saw Jalango and the likes run to the president. Why? Because the reality, away from what is there in the constitution and the policy documents, is that you've got to sing praises for you to actually push.
What has Ruto done for Jalango in Kibera?
You see, I cannot. It's possible
but that is not the question. But that's not the question. That's not the question I'm asking you.
I think the question is again, why is it that we have so many of these counties that, at the end of the day, they are ranked as some of the counties that are using the least amount of money in development, yet they have so many people, they are paying salaries, they have recurring expenditures, a lot of them, but they are not focused on development. Yet the law says that this percentage should be set aside to do developments.
Because then, and I want to add that question, that the Siaya governor, James Agri Orengo, has now taken off from his county and has followed Wanjigi and Wamunyoro and Sifuna going around the country. Wanjigi is not a governor of any place. He can go wherever he is to campaign and talk about even anything. Omunyoro was kicked out of government. They can run around. Sifuna has got a lot of time in his hands because he's a senator, and they sit once in a while at the Senate. So you are governor.
Jagero, I wanted to come in because I'm a former member of assembly and clarify a few issues.
Okay.
When it comes to the money that comes to the counties, even if it's delayed, because most of this money for projects, you don't pay prompt. Like you want you to build a road, you pay upfront. So what happens is you get contractors then. So if a governor really wants to do something, they can do. And this is the point that I was bringing in, that even voters need to be accountable for their leaders. They need to hold their leaders accountable. And remember what I said, and ukasema nimeongea vibaya. There's this thing that is, the members of parliament, most of them who come from, they are very good, eloquently, they come to the... They come to the National Assembly
I totally agree with you.
And the only thing they offer, go back to like even the member of parliament for Migori, is a very sharp person. And that is why I said, this is the time that, this conversation, as much as we want to talk about it, it goes back to the voter. Yeah. If you vote somebody, because I was saying, for us in Mount Kenya, whether you are related to even to Uhuru Kenyatta himself, if you don't perform, you go home. Remember what happened in Gatondo during 2022 elections. Even Uhuru was defeated at his own polling station. He could not believe. And even other parts of the country should take up that. And that is why I asked, like, for example, if you go to... there is a survey that was done recently, and it placed Irungu Kangata. I'm not praising him. He's not my, but I look at it, He's
not your what?
He's not like my cup of tea, Why? But there are many reasons, because we said politics is about interest. But you can see there is something he's doing. You come to Muranga, especially the hospitals, he has done. You come to a place like Kiambu, the governor there is working very well in terms of the schools, the ECD centers. He's doing very well. So we wonder, these people, you cannot tell me now, money for Migori County was delayed, but for Muranga was released on time. So this is it's not for you, but it is the governor there has refused to work.
Yeah.
He's not working.
And I want to ask her, I mean, you come from Homa Bay. How is Nyasuna Wanga doing over there, Odhiambo's friend?
Jagere, you want to make sure I cannot go home for Christmas?
No, you can go. If you are confident that she has worked, say. No. Odhiambo is also here, who is a big supporter of. And tell me about also Meuru Bay is where is that? That is
Migori.
That is Tinakuru.
And I'm really waiting to
that is Tinakuru, right? And then you have your big brother, Agri James Orengo. What are they doing?
And then we have
in Homa Bay. Yes, in Homa Bay, like I said, the national government. We've felt the national government in Homa Bay. Keyword: national government.
Correct.
County government,
zero.
Not so much.
Yeah.
And that is why the conversation right now in Homa Bay is, we've seen all these projects. And I think if you follow Homa Bay politics, there's been some squabble between the teams, not the persons themselves, but the teams of the PS Raymond Omolo, and the governor herself.
Okay.
Because the projects that are being lobbied for, or seem to be lobbied for by Raymond Omolo, the personnel, or rather the team for the governor, are saying that, look, the governor has lobbied for this particular project. And so that tussle has been
why is the PS lobbying for projects down there?
I don't want to be in a box where I am defending him.
Okay.
Because then he's supposed to be a PS for the whole country.
I see how you light up when you. Your body language. Body language is here.
For the whole country. But
okay.
That tussle is there. So the question in Homa Bay right now is, what is the money in county government doing? What are you doing with the money that's being given in county government?
Yes.
And why I had said the back starts and stops with the president is because, and it could be just an assumption. However, I want you to point out during this regime, the number of people, just anyone who is watching, take a pen and a paper and draw a line in the middle and write down everyone who is anti-government, any governor who is anti-government that has been summoned by EACC. Then now write the ones who are pro-government and that have been summoned by EACC. Then you will understand why I was saying the back starts and stops with the president. Because those who are anti-government, we've seen, I mean, we saw what happened with Natembea. We see the drama that comes with it. But look at Gladys Wanga. We are not able, we've had questions, she's been questioned severally, by the PAC committees and other committees as well, as to how this money is being used. So in terms of the county government, we really can't say that we have felt it. Even if by just looking at some of the ECDs that are in the county, we really can't say that we have felt it. A lot of
do you think the people of Migori are feeling it, the money?
The people of Migori, I'm not sure. The people of Homa Bay, I know, are not feeling it.
But Miuru is what you talked about.
And yes, and I said that Miuru Bay is in Migori.
Yes.
And why I was saying is that
which you are saying is
it does not even have a road.
Yes.
It does not have. So I don't think for Miuru Bay, I don't think they are feeling it.
They are feeling it.
I don't think they're feeling it, because when you go there, you start to ask yourself, am I still in Kenya? Might we have crossed the border without knowing? The situation is that, but when I say that it should be a county on its own.
How do you like Kisumu?
I think Kisumu, I can't.
And by extension, Siaya.
Don't get me started with the county of the pink roundabout. But when it comes to, some of the things that we also need to look at beyond just the infrastructure, it's what is the environment like? If you look at Kisumu County now, I think the business environment right now is very favorable. We are seeing a lot of companies go there. I mean, we've seen a lot of people from the mountain going to set up companies that side. We've seen them being able to trade with small market traders in Kisumu County now. I can't say the same for Homa Bay, but we are seeing certain infrastructures that are happening. So other than this infrastructure, there are certain factors that we need to also be able to look at. Homa Bay is a county that for a long time used to be on the headlines for, sex for fish, or sex for this and this. Whenever you talk about Homa Bay, those are the titles that would thrive. But right now, when you talk about Homa Bay, people want to talk about the stadium. People want to talk about that is people who don't come from Homa Bay. They want to talk about all the national functions that they have seen, the national government functions that they have seen happening. Again, national government. But now if you ask the people who are in Homa Bay, who live there, who vote there, who trace their rural homes back to Homa Bay County, and you ask them about Homa Bay, they will tell you, this is our place for Ajawa. That is like Mugithi, our local music, yes, our local entertainment. That's what they say. They say that that's all our money is being used for, which means that they are not feeling it. They really are not feeling it. So I think if I were to rate them, I think Kisumu is doing very well. But Kisumu has always had an advantage to the other counties. Homa Bay is probably, hopefully, on its way there. But let's see how 2027 goes. Migori and Siaya, I think we'll continue putting them in prayer.
Siaya, where Baba comes from was...
No, Siaya, where your friend Orengo is coming from. Orengo is in your party.
But you see, that's what I was saying. It does not matter whether he's in my party. If you're not performing, you are not performing.
And I agree with that.
And for me, it's about the voters. If the voters vote for him, what do I have to do with it?
Can I ask you something as a former MCA?
Yes.
How does the county operate from top to bottom? So, for example, you guys have been given 12 billion by the national government. What happens? How does it get used? Because how can a governor just pocket all of it, like all of it?
What happens, the way she was saying, there is a ceiling for 30% for recurrent expenditure. That money also has the part money for the MCs, for the assembly. They are two separate. But you see now the assembly does not have the autonomous to spend. This is where Bol was saying that you have to talk to the governor nicely, otherwise you'll not even be paid for salaries. And that is where sometimes I feel like the constitution had this, leaving the oversight team. You see like the assembly is now like the Senate for the county. So, but you see now at the end of the day, you are being paid by the governor. So what happens is most of the time, it is the executive that comes up with the finance bill. So they table it just the same way as the National Assembly. They table it, then you pass it. Most of the time they bring with the projects in different wards per se, and sometimes this project will remain on that paper. Just immediately you pass that bill, those things are done, and you wait until the next year. That's what happens. And these governors will keep you busy with moving around the world. You can, formerly I was in the Assembly of Wairia. You'll be given money to travel, and you'll never have time to even...
What do you mean given money to travel?
Yeah. He will allow you guys to travel because you also have a budget to travel and to see. You know, it'll take you to Italy to see avocado. And
is that so?
To benchmark, it will be taken to Israel for dairy farming, you know, to benchmark. And now you will be only be fighting to this group went this time, so it's us. And I remember even one day, I slept in the cell for 2 days when we wanted to question the finance bill. And this is how the governors used their strength. They threaten you. I remember it was in 2018. When this bill we felt that there were several projects that already we had given it money in the previous finance bill,
but they popped up again.
They popped up again, and they never started. And actually, they are looking like a continuation. So the people, we were about 16 of us, so we were all locked up in different cells. By the time we were coming out on Monday, Bill Ishapita, and that is something because you see this county assembly and the problem with how they created the county assembly is through the CGA, the County Government Act. There was no way the County Government Act was going to give power to the MCAs, because remember MCAs can actually impeach you early in the morning. So they left that part to manipulate the county.
Which
assembly.
part?
The part that you don't have the autonomy for your own resources. So anytime they can even decide, when they are paying everybody, you are not being paid. You are not paid.
Your salary.
Even allowances.
Even salary and allowances, you are not paid. They can decide everybody will travel. And you see now, in every county, when people travel, you make your per diem. You can actually go there for 5 years and you'll never travel out of the country.
Really?
Yes.
So you are left in the cold.
You are left in the cold because everything has to be approved.
Do you think that somebody who has been an MCA, so the 15% is given? So for example, Irungu Kangata is given 12 billion. What do you think, as somebody who has been an MCA, how would this money be used? Would you, as an MCA, say that okay, we are allocating this money further to each and every person, so that as an MC of XYZ ward, you'll be given, let's say, 200 million US to do your own projects? How would that be the way to go?
It wouldn't work because that is a conflict of interest. You cannot oversight and implement, because once you are an MCA, you cannot be given now money to go and implement projects at the ward. There is now the county executive team that now does, because even the structure of the county governor has a ward admin. Those are the works that do. So what you have to, you just sit and wait for them either to implement or not to implement the project. And remember, this has to happen. Probably maybe you'll wait for 6 months. When the Auditor General comes, then you realize they give a whole list of the things that were mentioned and they were never done. There's nothing you can do. You just call the CEC for that docket and you question them. And then they realize, they give you money, or they realize, you went with a letter, so you'll even be whipped from that committee. You are even suspended for some time. There is nothing much that can happen.
Is it worse than the national government?
It is worse. It is worse because you see now the amount of money that is used for the assemblies is kidogo. Like you can manipulate an MCA with 5,000 shillings. You can manipulate them by removing them from the committee because they will not be getting the allowances, and that is their life.
How much is an allowance approximately in a committee?
When we used to be there, we used to get 6,000 per committee.
Per committee?
Yes. So and you're given 4 committees.
You're given, each and every person is given 4 committees.
4 committees, and you have to attend the committees 4 times a week. Probably.
Then there's the travel allowance also depending on where you are.
Yeah.
4 times a week.
So cities is I think 14,000.
Yes.
And then you've got there's a second tier that it's I think 8,000.
Then also when you travel, like in the city, there's a different per diem.
Yes.
So all this.
So when you go to see the avocados in Italy, instead of going to see them at Uhuru's farm, how much are you given?
60,000 a day.
Per day.
You're paying about 60,000 a day.
60?
Yes.
To go see avocados in Spain?
Correct.
Then you want to go see avocados.
But they're at the Uhuru's farm. Why don't you go? No. But why are you not seeing the one in the Uhuru's farm?
My point, Chagero, is this.
No. But why are you not seeing the ones in the Uhuru's farm?
Yes, that's where I'm going.
The point is to keep you busy.
The point is,
okay,
who would not want that money? who do not want that money. And this
So hakuna mwenye anauliza avocado iko Kisii.
I've never had anyone ask. you know, and this is the point. If you were, like, for us, we were 53 members, and you were put in tears on where you were kept busy, like, nyinyi sisi tunaenda wapi, nyinyi mnaenda wapi, you know, and thinking, and you were just doing the maths of how much.
Kipindi.
Because if you go there,
that's what they call vipindi.
Yes, you go there for 10 days, you've made your 600,000.
600.
Oh, yes.
And I think when you were serving, yes, the salaries for MCA were higher than they are right now.
I haven't looked.
Because right now they're being paid, I think, is it 83 or 86,000?
Nothing.
We used to be paid 90 because also we pay. It is, you see, in all this, like in MP, MCA, they don't make money with salaries. Where they make money,
you go and see avocados in Italy and you come back for 10 days with 600,000.
We go and see cows in Israel. Huh? You were paid even 70,000. You go to a place like Singapore, you are paid 70,000.
Per day?
Yes, a day.
And the math is how long are we there?
It's about 10 days.
10 days.
My point was, I don't know whoever came up, because you see, when I'm there, maybe I will feel it's okay. But when now you do the maths across the country, you realize this is a lot of money. Because at the end of the day, I would look like, I remember there's this time we went to Rwanda. We were going there to look at the systems there, to how we can automate the systems for the county.
Which Rwanda?
Rwanda. When I got to Rwanda, it is like, sorry to say, but compared to our country, it is like now somebody has sent me back again to Muranga. We even have that, you know. So you're wondering now, and then we came back with a report. Then Wairia tells us, I was just sending you there to just go make your money, stop that, and he could not automate the systems. We were collecting money manually. You can imagine a county that is operating about 900 million a year, and it is not automated. That means that money goes to someone's pocket.
You could even come to Sakaja. Here has got automated system. Maybe you go ahead.
You know, I've always been of the opinion, because of all these foreign travels that happen, there should be a law or a policy that is introduced to ensure that if you have gone for a trip that is worth 5 million, whatever partnership you bring back home should be at least 50% of that. So if you have gone to look at cows, when you come back
what you bring back?
Israel, it should either be a partnership of, you know,
dairy cows from Israel,
where they get beef from here, or they should be coming to put up a milk processing plant like no other, you know, that has never been seen. You need to come in something.
Because I want to tell Bolo, it actually happened. What these things happen? What happened, Bolo, after we went to Israel and came back? The governor has already pictured everything. You will not get him. He introduced a program that was called One Cow, One Home. So we started giving cows to each and every home. But these cows, we would give you, we would come to this market, like where you said, Murube. We bring 50 cows. Then after the videos and the pictures, we collect the cows. And then we move with them. So at the end of the day, you have already
God, this is a story I've heard. This is a story I've heard.
Yes, and we will tell you where the money, because they are not vaccinated. So all over Muranga, they will only need 30 cows. We go through all through Muranga. But you see, but by the time the Auditor General comes, you have a signature. You received your cow. You signed for it.
Or you signed for a cow.
You signed for a cow. You'll start
the Muranga guys were not coming back to look for their cows.
Yeah, so that's this thing. The whole thing is set up, and they already know how they started and how they end. It's a game.
Can I ask you a question? How much do you think? How much percentage of money do you think gets used in the county?
30%.
The rest of the 70.
Yes, avocado.
That's very interesting. I wanted to talk about women leadership. Ruto, His Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto, has been given 120 days to make sure that 2 women enter that that cabinet. And I don't know whether they're looking at Faith Ken, you're out, so UDA should start considering you to get in there. You qualify?
Yeah, I do.
Well, what is your education background?
I have a degree in accounting.
Accounting? Yeah, so they can take you somewhere. Maybe you can go to Fikirini. Fikirini is going home, right?
I don't know.
You don't know if he's going home?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
I want to start with, somebody told me something. I want to start with Wamboi. Wamboi, somebody told me something when I talked to them about women in leadership. And he told me something that I don't know whether you've ever heard of. They told me that, yes, we have a political kitchen for women.
Which is?
Kitchen.
Women rep, you know, and youth, those small things. And also he was telling me that, you know, Jagero, women are very good in organizing these things for us. And so I was like, okay, so now, so when we go for rallies, they are very good at organizing tents, what, and this is the part that women play. And I know that you have been an MCA, and I know that you're also good at event organizing. So you've done both. You've been in the political kitchen, and you've also been a politician.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about women in politics? What's your summation of the same? Do you like the way it is going? You don't like the way it is going?
We have a constitution of Kenya.
Okay.
Under Article 27, the gender, it is very clear. Every appointment, even in the assembly, even in the Senate, it is very clear. It does not matter how well we can do the organization of the events, but the constitution is very clear.
Okay.
Ruto does not have a choice because the High Court were very clear, and after 120 days, everything that cabinet sit and approves, it becomes null and void. Currently, we have 25, cabinet that includes the president and the Odor and vice president, the deputy president. So and the 22 CSs. So we need, and currently we only have 7 women. We need to add 2 women for it now to balance. Jagero, most of the people would want, every time women are mentioned, they would like bringing, women can do this, women can do that. Anytime a woman maybe is caught up, like the way we were discussing Wanga, we are discussing Wanga as a leader. We are not discussing Wanga as a woman. That is why we are bringing our Orengo. So if the rights are enshrined in the constitution, there is no other way. So Ruto does not have a choice. He must appoint 2 women. And you see now, someone tells me, so he needs to fire men for him to appoint. I said he can fire. If he fires even 2, he does not even need to appoint more. So it's just a balance. So because the constitution is very clear, it is from 14 CSs and above, and you already had 22. So, and already our wage bill is really constricted. So my point is, when it comes about the constitution, we should follow the constitution. Yes, it does not matter whether we are very good dancers, whether we are good whatever. The constitution is when it is a table of the making decision, let the gender be balanced.
Okay, but that is okay. But the question that I was also asking you on top of that, over and above that, was that do you think that it looks like we are trying to create positions for women rather than, this is the CS the CSs are appointed still. So that I think that we have to allow the law to do what it has to do, so that if we want so many women in CS positions, then they have to be there. But the question I was asking you was, as a woman, what do you feel about politics? Forget about the appointments of ministers and CSs. Because I know you've been in politics for a very long time. And do you think that it is hard for women to do politics?
It is very hard. It is not easy, Jagero. You see, the same thing that people will tell you, we have this women rep position for women. Nyinyi endeni musimame hiyo kiti ya women. And you see now, most of the time is when women are labeled differently. As long as, like, even for us, now that I'm in politics, I'm seen like a masculine woman, not a normal woman. So even when you are in a conversation with other men leaders now, they look at you like it creates it does not create the same level of starting. So what happens is we are misjudged. I can go somewhere, we behave in the same way, but nobody will remember Jagero came with a short, but Wamboi, they remember I came wearing a certain colored clothes. So in politics, it's very difficult. Remember, we don't also have the finances, also most of us, to finance our campaigns. Remember, we don't also, it is just these days that, Bolo, when I was vying in 2017 the first time, it was very difficult. You could not go out drinking with your fellow men. You were judged very harshly. It's only these days that you can go and ask for your manyata and sit, and have a conversation with this leader. Because already your pictures will be circulated everywhere. Last night, you were seeing with who and who.
Wanakunyorosha nayo.
And these women, because these women in the village, they look at you, because this is the customs that they, they were brought up with. Women are homekeepers. Currently, this is when they are understanding that politics is for everybody. I'm happy because where I come from, Muranga, we don't have a problem with women leaders. If there is a county that actually have produced several women leaders in different capacities, it is Muranga, because we even have the CS Wahome. She was the former member of parliament for Kandara. We have Wamaua, the member of the current member for Maragua. We also had Wangari, who was a member for Kegumo. So Muranga, we are a bit woke. I would say we have accepted the women leadership. And sometimes, sorry to say, you would compare the leadership for women and for men, especially in the ground level, and you find that they are really doing their thing. Sisi Twasimanga, even if you eat, you don't eat everything. Adi ya mtoto, you don't eat everything. So I wish people, they can go. I think it's something that gradually is getting to people's mind, and also the spaces now are opening up. Kitambo, it was very, very narrow. However, the Constitution created these positions, and you mentioned that in the Assembly, right now I was looking at the composition of the National Assembly. Do you know we need to nominate more, like 43 to 50 women leaders, member of parliament? And this ruling, once it is actualized, it gives room for litigation for MP, for the National Assembly and for Senate. They'll have to, because that is in the Constitution. You see, these things, Jagero, is you cannot choose which article to abide with and which article you leave on. The assemblies, if they don't want it, can they go back and, they vote, they create other laws, maybe if it needs to come for, but as long as that the law stands, it is still there. For members of county assembly, it is easier because you cannot be sworn in. It is very clear, and it is very under Article 88. It is very clear you cannot be sworn in until the house is composed. It is fully gender balance. Yeah, it is fully compliant. You cannot even be sworn in. So by the time the elected members are sworn in, you are sworn in together with the nominated members, and you cannot even do the first business of electing a speaker of the house without compliance. So I don't know where this thing of the member of parliament, of the National Assembly and the Senate, how it went wrong, because for county assemblies it is okay.
Jagero, I'd like to paint a picture, and I don't know where to start with. Whether to start with where Wamboi spoke about not being allowed to be seen at night. If you're a woman vying, let's start from you being a young woman who's gotten into politics. When your first hurdle is getting into a political party. So when you want to get into the leadership of a political party, in the youth league, they will tell you as a young woman, you are a woman, go to the women's congress.
Yes.
When you go to the women's congress, they'll tell you, but you're still young. Rudu ko youth league, right? That is the first hurdle you get. When you have gone past that, now you begin experiencing sexual corruption and sexual harassment.
Sexual corruption?
Yes, those are two different things.
Sexual corruption and?
Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is where they will grope you, they will, pin you to the wall, they will smack you when you're walking. That is sexual harassment. Sexual corruption is where they will tell you, there is this opportunity. Because wewe hauna shamba and you don't have the money, they call it kuteremsha bendera. Where they are telling you, I will give you something, and in return, this is what I expect.
Panda kitanda.
Exactly, panda kitanda.
That's what we were being told in Machakos.
Now, it's sad because right now in one of the political parties, it's that conversation has been there. Where
which political party?
Jubilee. There's a young woman who's been complaining and saying, look, we made a deal. You wanted sex, I gave it to you. Now it's time for you to do your part, end of the deal.
Which was what? Which was what? Which was
she
what?
She hasn't said what the end of the deal was, but she clearly says you have not fulfilled your end of the deal.
This
I
part
can
was-
mention the hotel rooms.
Yes.
She says it.
She formed something that an outfit that was
Queens
called Queens
Namatiangi.
Namatiangi.
Yes.
Queens Namatiangi?
Yes.
So
Now
it's
this
a
Queens
conversation.
Namatiangi, whenever they go anywhere, she's not recognized. But somebody from that circle slept with her and told her this outfit I'll make it national and
I'm going to give you a position in the in the secretariat.
Yes.
And in the NEC. We all know that the NEC is the highest decision-making organ of any political party. So she says, look, I fulfilled my end of the deal. Now that is sexual corruption because the person cannot claim it was harassment because it was consensual. Right? So yes, so that's what I was saying. So as a young woman, those are the things that you begin to face when you're in a political party. And then now you pass that hurdle. Now it comes to nomination.
Yeah.
A lot of people look down on nominated members, but I kid you not.
It is the hardest thing.
It is difficult. The same was, someone who is vying for member of county assembly is politicking outside. But the one who is politicking inside for this nominated position is worse because they will toil day in, day night, day out. Sometimes they don't even have the money, but they have to show up and look like a potential muheshimiwa. And at the end, and they work for the party, they work voluntarily. But at the end of the day, what happens is that when that list is coming out, you've seen the list. You've even escorted the list to IEBC. But what is gazetted, your name is not even third. It is nowhere to be seen. That is the hurdle they then face when it comes to the election.
But back up a little bit because I am shocked at something.
To hit you properly in front.
Yeah, but because I'm wondering because so when you are getting nominated, at what point are you told that you're going to parliament?
So what happens with the nomination stage, and Wamboi will clarify if I miss the details.
Yeah.
What happens is political parties will submit a list of nominations, same as they are submitting their list of candidates. The lists go together. So what happens is after that list goes, it's supposed to be gazetted.
This is how long before election?
Around just after the party primaries.
Around May.
Yeah.
Around May.
Yeah.
Yes.
Around the time Gachagua was saying that they're going to announce the president.
So
okay.
That list is supposed to be gazetted. So that day, in fact, if there is a day that newspapers sell in this country within the political space, is that day where the names are being gazetted because everyone wants to see, has my name made it or not?
The name for the nomination and the name for?
The candidate. Because what also happens a lot of times is you find that, like I know in the past election, there are people who would say that in my party we woke up in this county, we were not gazetted. The party said that they don't have members vying in that county simply because the party has an issue with the branch leaders of that county. So these things happen.
So they black you out. The entire
list down till the MCA
is blocked out.
Yes. So you have to start the process of going to court and the court will take you back and say go back to the internal dispute.
Yeah.
Yes. So that day is a very emotional day for anyone in the political circles. They want to know who has been gazetted. So once you have passed that hurdle and now you're no longer a young woman, you're getting into the stage where you feel like you're past the youth bracket, you now want to vie. For a woman, and that's why I want to pick up what Wamboi said, for a woman who is vying, we all know that a lot of political decisions are made in informal discussions. So informal discussions here could be in the bars after 5 p.m. where you as a woman is not supposed to be seen. Informal discussions could be outside the party headquarters in some changaden where they're sure that nobody can spot them. But you as a woman, you're not supposed to be there. So how are you going to be at the center of key political pronouncements? And in politics, even a minute is very long. Anything can change. So you're outside, you're waiting for the next day to get into the boardroom at the party headquarters. But you realize everyone is speaking as if there was a meeting before the meeting. Because it happened in an informal space where as a woman you're not supposed to be seen. Now if you're lucky enough and you get elected, you have to work 3 times as hard as your male counterpart for less than the recognition that they get. So you work 3 times as hard for that recognition. As a woman, that's what it means being in politics. And we haven't even started to get into the toil that it takes in family setups. We haven't even gotten into the financial burden. We've got teachers who have resigned to go and vie. And when they come back, they don't have a place to start. These stories are there. We've heard of women who want to commit suicide or strip naked at the party headquarters simply because they've been spending money for the past 5 years, but now when it comes to vying, they're told now we are not doing party nominations, we are going to do consensus. where we have done polls and we have realized the Jagero is better than you, so we have decided to give Jagero the ticket. But don't worry, we will refund you your nomination fees. Jagero nomination fee for Senate in some parties is 250,000, right? But at this point, you've done reflector jackets, you've paid bloggers, you've paid security, you've done T-shirts, you've been spending money at the party. You know, during elections, the first point of contact for money is at the gate with the watchman when you're getting into the party headquarters. Who is refunding you that money? 250,000 is a drop in the ocean compared to the money that you have spent. So these are the realities of women in politics. But it should not discourage women from getting into politics. What the conversation needs to shift, criticizing politics and just telling women that, you know, get into politics, we need women in politics because it's only for you being in politics that we will change, we will change things. The conversation now needs to move to telling them, look, when you're going to a rally, you will find someone who will try and lift your skirt up. This is what you need to do. We need to tell them exactly how it is. And we need to prepare them to thrive in that environment that is hostile. We need to tell them that someone is going to come after you with machetes. Ensure that you have your own security. Those are the conversations that we need to be having.
Faith, how is it going for you at UDA?
I think the challenges of women in politics are, it's not like it's different from what is happening in this party. It's similar across. So just starting from what Polo said, dressing up. You see, as a woman, especially if you're vying in the villages huko, kwanza na mavazi lazima uanze kuvaa nguo, you know, refu. There's a how you supposed to dress in a certain way to please, so that the men around there can be comfortable. And then now the conversation, iyo kupanda kitanda. Like, somebody told me that if you're getting into politics, the first thing you need to do as a young person is embrace the Malaya tag. Because right now...
Embrace what?
The Malaya tag. Because you'll hear it almost every time. Kuitwa Malaya, wewe ni Malaya, wewe, you know, you're a prostitute or what and what. Because it's the first thing you get into politics. Unasikia. Right now, if I take a photo with Jagero, automatically, the thing that goes out, they have slept
the
with
blogs.
Jagero. Yeah,
My competitors' blogs are going to light up.
It's automatically, you've slept with Jagero. So you have to embrace yourself to know very well that hapa natembea na hawa watu. But it goes, sometimes you find yourself in a situation that I've been sitting somewhere and nasikia watu wakiniongelelea and they don't know I'm there. Yeah. And they think they say they're mentioning everyone. You know, ule, akona ule. And I wasn't even
sure. Unakunywa chai?
No.
Uko at cafe?
Yeah, it's like you're sitting here, then kuna
alafu tunakuona town huko kwa Jalango, naona kusewe.
Yeah, you know. So it's a thing. And then I feel women are most of the time treated as spies in politics. Yeah, like you're treated from a point of you are a spy until you prove trustworthy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You always, like, they won't welcome you fully. Welcome you.
So when they say, this spy thing, what are they suggesting? That you are in UDA because you've been sent by...
No, I'm not talking about...
I'm just saying as an example. Yeah. You are in UDA because you've been sent by Wamunyoro to come and spy on what is going on there.
It's not even a party thing per se, because when you're in politics, you have to create a network within either in the party or just people around. Because at some point you need these networks. For example, if I'm running for women rep for Migori County, at least I'll have to know a few people. So these people, for you to build these alliances, they won't welcome you fully. People will think you're either... That is why you're coming to them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yet you also need to learn. You also need to know how watu wamefika hapa aje. You can't be walking alone always. So the spy is the entry point. Like, huyu ni spy, you know, tumwangalie hivi. And then now for them to open up fully, now it comes now the thing where you're outside, they start judging you yet, ni wao wamekuita hapo. For example, in clubs, the meetings, most political meetings happen in bars, and you know, watu wanakunywa hapo. But now you're not supposed to drink. And then the money factor again. Hauna pesa, and here you need to go. Then they present an offer, like the lady was saying. Yeah, the end of the band. So for young women in politics, it's really hard. If you don't define yourself early enough, you will be lost at some point. Because you don't know where you're heading to.
Yeah.
You've been defined, like several, like people are saying this, and yeah. So unless you define yourself,
I want to ask Wambui a personal question. Omboy, I have only worked with you like for 2 days, and what I saw was very like, well, this is not a woman.
Hey.
This is, she's tough.
To what you were saying.
You know, she's tough. Like, I remember that meeting we had over there. She's laughing. Eh?
She's the one who was disturbing you in Mombasa.
No. She was the savior.
Oh, she was the savior?
Yes.
She was the one when you alikuwa arrange vitu.
Yes. She was the one who took everything over and was like, she did everything at that event. I think one of the...
Yeah, I remember you telling me about her.
Yeah, the success was because of her. But when I was looking at her, the way she was doing those things and actually dealing with men, specifically, she had a way of dealing with men. She knew that this is a man, and I'm dealing with men. I'm not dealing with fellow women, okay? Yeah. And she was doing it so well. So the question I want to ask you, do you have to learn it? Like, I know men behave this way, and this is how to take care of them, massage their egos, you know, and so on and so forth.
There's Faith mentioned that at some point, women, we know we have to work extra harder. For things to happen. Remember when we went to Mombasa and we found that we have a meeting, but we don't even have a delegates, and we are looking at maybe 500. And I realized and everybody is just on call. I had, you can imagine, there was someone named Jagero, come here. Everybody come, because we were conversing on the phone. And for me, it is about why are we here? Why are we here? We came here for a function. We came here for an activity. We have to succeed. So for me, it does not matter how people would see me, whether I'm a woman, but everybody. If Jagger, we are supposed to do the sounds, whatever, where are your people? Probably you will not be the one doing it. I will call you. I'll call everybody in order. Because you see, at the end of the day, women, we carry pregnancy for 9 months. We build to something. So we are used to being patient with things and knowing how to handle them, because at the end of the day there is something you are waiting for. If we failed, I would be told Wamboi ndiye alifanya hii ianguke, and all men will say if it was not for Wamboi it would have been successful. So it is something that we have learned over time, women, and I would also want to encourage all women out here, if you feel that you have the capacity to lead, go all out. Let people say whatever they want to say. You go, because I remember, like you said, I'm from Jubilee. They could not accommodate me any further. I moved and I found somewhere else where I was accommodated. So people should not just fear, because also you will be put, you know, when Bolo talks about sex corruption and sex harassment, I've never encountered those things, because even when you see me for the first time, you could not feel that this is someone who I can bring this kind of. So you. But then
the question is then, somebody like Faith, when you, for example, you are given a room full of 300 women to tell, what are you telling them when they are entering politics? How are they supposed to behave? What are they supposed to do? Because I think that's a question. That is something that you'd like to understand. I mean, you have been an MCA. I see your organization skills are tip-top. So then what are you telling women? Suppose you are before 300 women who want to enter politics.
You know, there are women who are in politics because someone brought them.
Okay.
There is that aspect. Are you in politics because you want it? And you also know there's no shortcut. Nobody should lie to you that you will be sexualized and you get these positions. Those eras are gone. Those eras are gone. And in politics, don't come in politics if you feel that you don't have money. You will be used explicitly. And you will not even get that nomination. So there are things that sometimes we want to become Wamboi Njoki today and today. Remember when I was vying in 2017, I didn't just come from nowhere. You know, and also even the campaigns were not as expensive as they are now. In 2017, I spent about 3 million. In 2022, I spent about 7 million for an MCA seat. So you can.
Did you win?
I did not win.
Oh, really?
Yes. Then you come to 2022, it is going to be more expensive. So at the end of the day, Jagero, you see, sometimes it's also good to understand who am I. You know, the reality check. You cannot tell me you are running for an MCA, but hata mia hauna ya kutembea fair. You know, yes. You see, sometimes even people will call me now that I'm in Safina. You know, I want you to tell me how I can, I can start. You know, I ask them, how far have you gone? No, I want to start. You see, you're lying to yourself. There's no politics without money in this country.
But how much money?
It depends with where you are coming from.
But also, and actually, when Jagero asked the question of how would you tell a woman to behave, two things struck me. The first was, I don't see anyone asking men, how should I behave when I get
It looks like it's easy for them.
But also,
the men are not complaining, right?
Not,
are they?
They have their portion of complaining. But this thing is not a one size fits all. Because, again, all politics is local. So how people would behave in how the Kalenjin community, for example, expects their female leaders to be portrayed or to portray themselves is not how someone from Homa Bay, for example, would be expected to look, or someone from Mount Kenya, for example. So that is the first thing that they need to know, is that all politics is local. So what kind of image do they need to portray that aligns with who they are as an individual, right? So if you know that you are a very aggressive person, and your area does not appreciate women being aggressive, how do you use that? If you are very quiet and you are in an area where they expect women to be aggressive, so how do you maximize on your other strengths to be able to have that as, the face and not these other things? When you talked about the women rep, and I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, and saying that women, there's the women rep position that a lot of people say it's kept for women. So if you want to vie as a woman, go to the women rep seat. We've seen men now starting to say, but we can also vie for the women representative position.
Maybe they should ask the question, why are there no men rep positions?
And the women rep position, if you talk to anyone who has been a women rep, they'll tell you that this seat was brought to, we were empowered to be disempowered. Because people are saying this women rep position, we don't even see the use, it needs to be scrapped off.
Okay.
Why? Because they don't understand the nitty-gritties of that seat. For example, the women reps themselves they also sit in National Assembly with the members of parliament. But the members of parliament see them as lesser people, as people who probably had it easy. When they go back to the ground away from the house, to their constituencies, people are asking them, we are seeing Mheshimiwa so-and-so, our MP, working. You are also in parliament like them, why are we not seeing you doing these things? They are forgetting that the resources are not the same. Those are the nitty-gritties that people don't know about.
Actually, the resources are the same. They get 100 million. But now, for
the women rep cover
council,
a larger, the women rep cover a larger area than the member of parliament. Because the member of parliament, like for example in Nairobi, there are 17 constituencies. So for the same amount you are, doing, it's like a mother who has 17 children and one who has 2 children. Surely, even if they are given the same amount of money, the families will not feel it the same way. So those are the nitty-gritties that we don't talk about when we are, when we are looking at the women in politics, and that women.
So a governor is given 12 billion and a woman rep is given 100 million.
You see where
I understand that the other one is doing bigger development as I got people to pay. But what is the idea? This money is supposed to do what for the women rep?
You see, and the ladies will correct me if I am wrong, but when in 2013, because that was the first crop of the women reps that we had, after they were sworn in, they didn't have any funds. If you remember very well, it took about a year of them.
Yeah, for Walker, yes, I remember.
It took about a year for them to push and complain and make a lot of noise for them to even get funds to be able to, because people were asking them.
Originally you were supposed to get nothing.
Yes, they weren't supposed to get anything.
Because a representative.
So people are asking them, but you also sit in parliament. Why are we not seeing what you're doing as a woman rep? We've also elected you, we can't feel you.
But Polo, I don't know. I don't know what you do at the civil society level, but help me understand. What is a woman rep? What is this? Why are they covering such a huge area?
So the women representatives, actually the
because
MP
looks like the senator. Sounds to me like the senator.
So they ideally should have been in the house of in Senate.
Yeah.
Right? But the constitution as was written, actually the term is county woman member of parliament.
County?
Woman MP.
Yes.
So women representative.
Say that again.
It's actually county woman MP. The women rep name came in the political sphere.
County.
The county woman MP.
And then she's taken to parliament.
Yes.
How does that make sense?
And so their duties are actually the 3 as it is in the constitution: legislation, oversight, and representation.
At the parliament level?
Yes.
But there is the county.
There is the county term.
But don't you think there is a problem there?
There is a problem. Jagero, that's why I'm saying if you talk to any woman, anyone who has been a woman representative, they'll tell you that this affirmative action seat we were empowered to be disempowered.
Okay, so take me into the psyche and the mind of Kina Agri James Oren.
Something I want to disagree with Bolo.
Okay.
When they say they are disadvantaged, we are always looking at the side of the money.
Okay.
But when you look at the three functions of a member of parliament, it is legislation, oversight, and representation.
Okay.
You don't need money for doing that. Jagero, the fundamental question is, what have they been doing? Have they been pushing for women legislation? Have we been doing, like right now we are crying, there is femicide, there is children, I don't know where our children are going.
Yeah.
We have not seen any of them going to parliament with a bill or anything, or compelling even the offices of anything that is happening. I think even if we want to run away from the question of that this money is kidogo. Remember, a senator does not get any kitty.
But Wamboi, when you say that we've not seen them push women-friendly legislation, there is nowhere in the Constitution, and that's why I say we put women on such a high pedestal, and it goes back to what you are agreeing with, that they have to work 3 times as hard. The Constitution does not say that the county woman MP is supposed to legislate on matters women. It doesn't say that.
Okay, so okay. Come on. Bolo, let's get back. Bolo. Why, what have, please describe for me this position.
So
what is it for? So because it looks like this, is it creating jobs for women or actually sending representatives? Because if I am representing men, quote and quote, then I am saying the boy child is suffering. They cannot marry. I mean, life is expensive.
Mental health.
That is if you're supposed to represent men.
Yes, and so it's...
So where in the Constitution does it say that women, the county woman MP only represents women in their county?
Something.
Okay.
You see, the reason why it is hard for young women coming into politics because of the state that the women in politics currently have set for us.
Okay.
When we are talking about the harassment in politics, because the behaviors of the women currently in politics, that is what it brings. When you look at, let me say, for example, Nyanza, when you're talking about the things, mine will, mine untie, it comes from women most of the time. So they're setting the stage, mine will, mine uchiak, the kind of things,
The political rhetoric that are meant
they're sexualizing women. They're making us appear.
Mine
will, uchiak.
Okay.
I don't know why the other is silent there.
Yeah. Because he's saying it in Kabondo.
No, it's most of the times, majority of the times, it comes from the women leaders currently. And this one, I want to disagree with Bolo. The women whom we have in power, they haven't represented women.
But Bolo is telling you that they are not supposed to represent women.
Whether you've been elected,
it is not showing. But we are saying in the general public, you see, like for instance, let me use Karen Nyamo.
Yes.
Karen Nyamo will go there and sexualize a young girl that has come to the parliament. So you're
speaking to the conduct. You're speaking to their conduct.
Yes, but also I'm looking at it. You said we go to parliament for 3 things: representation.
Yeah.
We are going there for the legislation.
And if you look at the representation itself as the word, and you're also called a woman, then the assumption is that you're representing women.
Assumption.
No,
it's the same way people are assuming that an MP
today
we
are happy. We are happy as a country because of what Njoki Ndongo. Remember, she brought in the mama ya kunini.
Which one? Sema kwa Kiswahili alafu
the defilement Sexual Offences Act. The Sexual Offences Act.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When she brought them, we have benefited. She did not say because I'm not out. And so many things. Even for circumcision, I don't want to say.
Female genital mutilation.
Yes.
You see, those are the policies that we have. I wish we could have like 10 of us. Like 10 of
I want to go to Odhiambo. I want to go to Odhiambo.
Because I feel like Odhiambo is about to
No, that's assumption. Don't assumption. Don't assume.
Exactly what we are doing with the women.
Let me finish.
Okay.
My point is, we would want as much as it is not written in the constitution, I agree, because I'm also a woman. Let them also show like why we need this position. Once you get it,
can we go back to how the women
Let me finish. Yes, I know how it came in. But I'm saying now, once we get, because even us, we are candidates for those positions. Once we get those positions, can we at least, because you see now the language that we are talking of constitution, the normal Wanjiko in the village does not understand it like that. They feel that the women should represent the women. For example, you asked what this money when they were given 100,000, 100 million.
100 million, yes.
It was for it is purely empowerment. If you see Betty in Muranga, Betty in Kirinyaga, Betty in Muranga, or I used Sabina because I used to work with her when I was MCA. Now she used to come and work with us, nominated women in the assembly. She used to work with us, and we used to go and empower now women. Now you come up with programs.
And she understood that she's representing women.
In fact, for Sabina, she understood the assignment. She created platforms, empowerment programs for women. She would give them seats, she would give them economic activities for women. And that is what I'm saying, even if this, because this money you're not also given and be told, okay, we're fine heavy. So in the mind of the women, they felt we are being represented. Because hii pesa ya wanaume wanaenda kujigawia kwa bar when we are not there. Can we also have this kit now coming to the markets? You know, pale tuko na chama zetu, let us now also have this kitty as ours. And like now, because they will feel, ECDF hata hatujui where this money is gawia. So this money ya women, can now she can go and get the, mama, they have these chamas in the village. Those are the chamas that you
okay. Empowered. I want to go to please allow me to go to the Odhiambo. Odhiambo, I don't know what you want to talk about, but I've got a question for you. You have done a lot of politics. And from a man's perspective, what do you think about women in politics? Or women that are not already in politics that are trying to come up in politics? What do you think is their biggest problem? What don't you like about them?
Well, women have a lot of unique standpoints, which influence their unique position within the society. It starts from the biology of women that then even affects how they view life. Their viewpoint of life is very different from how men view life. And that has been proven over and over. That unique standpoint of women gives them a very different kind of worldview of how life looks like. And then it calls for a different look at their policies, because the world for a long time has been patriarchal across societies. And with the empowerment of women comes a different question, which is, it's a different social dispensation. We can no longer exist in patriarchy. We've moved into partnership where they're talking about equality as much as they don't really want equality, but they've spoken about equality. And I speak about this in this sense, that they want equality in terms of earning, in terms of right, in terms of value, in terms of everything. But at the same time, they're calling for chivalry. That's a different question in its entirety. But let's put that aside. Why did we have the clamor for women rep positions? It starts from the Beijing conference, where women across the world, prominent women across the world, went to Beijing and met and were talking about how do we move forward as women. Kenya then resulted into the Kenya League of Women Voters, specifically, that was led by my former boss. That's something I'm always proud about. And number two, we had women such as Phoebe Asio, Grace Onyango of Kisumu, and so many more even from, we had, I think she was called Chemutai or somebody from Kalenjin land, and many more who dared by then to step into the murky field of politics where there was no affirmative action. Now, moving, there's a little bit of a confusion, and the confusion comes from this point, that we want to look at women from the genitalia and not from what is between their ears. And I think it's a very despicable way of looking at women, especially in an empowered regime or in an empowered dispensation like now, where women are having equal rights to go to school, women are having equal rights to go to work, women are having equal rights to vote.
To inherit.
They're exposed to everything as equal as men. In any case, men are now disadvantaged, and that is evident. In Kikuyu land, you can see the men majorly are drinking, and they're vagabonds, majority of them. That's evidence across the country, even in terms of opportunities. Women get employed 10 times faster than a man. You're averagely, Jagrano, you've never been employed in your life. If you are looking for employment, a woman will be employed by 23, 24. A man will get his first employment that is on payroll at 30 in Kenya today. And yeah, those are research that we've done at Africa Insight Partners. These are uncomfortable facts that if we place outside there, people will start murmuring, but they're just as painful as they come. Now, people like Phoebe CEO started clamoring for the 2/3 gender rule because the unique issues that women face, men cannot discuss them. It will be called mansplaining. For example, there are issues of polygamy, there are issues of child rights, which most men would maybe dismiss and say, you know what, I'm the leader of the home, that's it. But women will look at it differently. Sexual offenses, some cultures, in fact, not even some cultures, even today, as of 2019, 2020, when I was running a program called Linda Kesho, in Siaya alone, there were about 4,200 cases of early childhood pregnancy, but only 50 cases were in court. Ideally, 4,200 cases implies that those are defilements. Are we together? Defilement of girls below the ages of 18. But this case are not ending up in court. So stronger policies and stronger representation was needed. But even if you look at Siaya alone, again, in that case study, there's a woman there called Ombaka, who was a lecturer at Maseno, who has no understanding of what affirmative action means.
Zipporah Kitonyi, that was the lady.
Zipporah Kitonyi was one of them. Zipporah Kitonyi is one of the women leaders who led the Beijing conference movement from Kenya, and so many more. But in this question of Siaya, let me hammer it home. This women representative seat was meant to be an affirmative action seat. Affirmative action implies that mkono yako inashikwa, unapelekwa ndani ya bunge kwa njia ya lazima. Okay? Kwa njia ya lazima ya kuidhinisha kwamba you must be in parliament as a woman. But it should only be for 5 years. Then now you are empowered to now go into elective position. Today, Mama Ombaka is serving 13 years and counting as a woman rep for Siaya. What the hell is wrong with that woman in Siaya? and many more thick women who are across the counties, not understanding that this seat is meant for you to be introduced. Once you have your first term, please proceed and contest. Leave for younger people.
Proceed and contest.
Yeah, proceed and contest.
For what?
Contest for a seat like any other man, like any other woman. It's affirmative action. Miaka 5 ya kushikiliwa kuja juu and our contest. Like nomination, this lady was nominated. Once you're nominated,
yes.
Yeah, you're nominated, right? Yeah.
Before the...
Yeah, 2017, yes. I've eyed, let him finish one.
Yeah, so once you're nominated, you're being given a period to stand on a springboard. Now jump. You cannot be nominated now, tomorrow. Then there are people like that who have been nominated over and over again. Cultures of democracy who are hurting these women and young girls like Faith, like these ladies who are here, who have the potential, but because those ones don't appreciate that because their hands were held, they need to provide space for others. Now, that underscored, this seat was to come to an end, in my view, in 20 years. And this 20 years is almost elapsing. We're in our 13th year. We're having 7 years to go. Now, what should have happened? We should go back to the political parties. And the political parties are the ones to ensure that we have 2/3 gender representation. Okay? Where in the nomination they ensure that 1/3 of the candidates they're presenting at IEBC.
Hii list ya Bolo.
Hii list ya Bolo. Hii list ambayo unapeleka IEBC. A minimum of 1/3 must be women at the political parties nomination.
But so we don't have that law. You know, that law has
there by IEBC in this last election, and then PPLC went
the
to court.
The zebra.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. The biggest challenge to achieving 2/3 gender rule in this country is not even the presidential regime as it is. It is the political parties, which women are the majority. Because I'm at home doing my politics, and I can tell you, majority of the people I sit with are women, and I always tell them, if you have my agenda, one of them is, hey guys, 17, 18-year-old women.
But the question I wanted to ask you, and I saw you, dancing around on the Potato Republic.
Yes.
But imagine a woman, your sister, the same age as yours.
Yes.
Would you have gathered those women?
Of course. Can I tell you why?
Okay.
Women are easy to talk to fellow women, just like men are easy to talk to fellow men. The question is, there are biases which exist within both sexes or both genders, okay? Like for example, us men, we may be friends for a long time. I don't know your home, like I don't know where you stay. And I've been your friend for 4 or 5 years. I don't know where you stay. Yeah. I've only met your wife here or somewhere. You know my house. You even come in.
Yes.
And you see, it's normal for us. It's very normal. For women, they will know each other's house. Mpaka vitu za ndani. Okay? But then comes the issue of sexual profiling, which all these women seated here can tell you today. That when a woman meets another woman, the first thing they do is sexually profile the other woman. Huyu amenishindia wapi. Alright? Women submit very easily to this patriarchy which they are fighting. Because today, majority of the voters in this country are women, they're not men. If women decided by a fiat approach to take one of their own to be the president of this country, they will do it. But the question is...
Do you agree, Bolo?
No, we want him to
The question is...
We're waiting for him to finish.
No, he cannot even finish.
Which withdraw what?
He said that
the sexual profiling bit.
at when we see each other, we just profile with each
I
other
do
sexually.
psychometric analysis.
No,
I can tell you quickly. I can tell you quickly.
What exactly? Because me, I didn't understand. These women understood.
I can tell you
What you're saying completely.
It is not offensive.
You cannot call us here to say that we profile each other sexually. No,
I will put it. Let's expand our.
But you said that Karen Nyamu did something like that.
Let's expand our understanding.
And also she said that because that's not an assumption. She did that.
Let's
but
expand
now
our
he's
understanding.
assuming that
Why is Bolo the only one that is not tying?
Because I am waiting for him to learn so that I can respond.
Yeah.
Can you learn quicker?
Yeah. We need to expand. We need to expand our understanding. When I say sexual profiling, is not seeing this woman atakona matako kubwa nini hapana.
No, we understood what you meant.
Is in terms the first comparative age that a woman meets the other one, it is psychologically you can study. When they meet each other, the first thing, women even call each other babes. Can you call a man babes?
No.
So you get my point. Okay, anyway.
Maybe to be honest with you guys, I don't understand this concept.
Anyway.
That you guys are talking about. I don't understand this concept.
Let me let that slide.
Can you leave the mic now?
I'm not leaving the mic. Let me let that slide. Let me let that slide.
Okay.
Let me come to the point, Jagel.
Thank you.
If today this question of women rep needs to be sorted, we must stop looking at women, and women must stop looking at themselves by what is between their legs and start looking at themselves by what is between their ears. Because what is between your legs, in my view, does not actually determine what is between your ears. I look at a human being as a human being. And those, whatever is between our legs, is meant for a different function. When it comes to intellectual discourses or thinking that is moving forward, that thinking does not go below the belt. Thinking remains above the belt. And that is what we must focus on and empower women to imagine and to know that they can actually make sane choices when it comes to leaders. I agree, in finishing, I agree that this women rep position should have been in the Senate and not in National Assembly.
Bolo.
Okay? But, Jagel, let me finish. But
in finishing.
But the question is, people like Bolo, who are in civil society, people like the lady on my left, who has been in leadership, people like Faith who sit with the power daily, in fact in the morning to evening, Faith here, don't ignore her, that young girl.
See, I know.
Yeah.
I know how powerful she is. Bolo is the one who doesn't know.
And I'm aware Jagero, I'm aware that she's even brought you some money. So I'm just saying, it's time they collegiate, okay? They sit together and reason together and ask themselves one question: where are we going as women in the next 10, 20 years? The women who are there before us, what have they done? And us moving forward, what are we going to do? Those ones brought us to Beijing conference, whatever, to the gender rule. Now, what is the question of women moving forward?
Okay.
Jagero, I think I'm going to support Odhiambo in some of the things that he's just saying. Yeah, that's why I'm so specific about some. Like the one for this affirmative action position, I think it is high time as women we start thinking of what about that time when we shall abolish that affirmative action. Like what will we have made from that, because he talked about some of these women rep who have stayed. It's like they are stuck in that position, yet they are supposed to give other women an opportunity. They are supposed to upgrade. Actually, let me just say upgrading, yes, and also get into these elective seats. And then there's something that I want to disagree with, because I don't know why men keep on pushing this thing to us women that we are enemies to ourselves. You see, that is a narrative that men keep on pushing, that they are saying that we have so many women outside. It is true. And they are asking, why is it that women cannot vote for us? So an innocent woman outside there, once they hear that, that is the reason why they cannot vote for some of these women leaders. Yeah, because it is a narrative that is usually being pushed by men.
Women not vote for
you
women?
Keep on telling us that we are enemies of our own selves.
So and then they believe it and then do it.
Yes, listen, what he said is, this is an innocent woman who has not been in this field to understand what has been happening. Remember what he just said, that we start profiling each other sexually. Like, I don't know what is that. This just meant to. It's a narrative that is trying to push around women. Yes.
Can I agree with? Sorry, are you?
Yes.
Can I agree with her?
Yeah, please go ahead.
You know, in Nairobi we had two men vying for gubernatorial. We had Sakaja and we had Gathe, right?
Okay. Yes.
At no point did I hear anyone say, "Oh my God, men are their own enemies. See, they're even vying against each other." That is very. Nobody said that. But I kid you not, if it was Faith and I vying for gubernatorial, they'd say, "See, women cannot even agree on the candidate." Right?
Really?
Yes, that is the conversation that would be there, which goes back to me, and it's just to agree with her saying that some of these narratives come from the men. When I think Faith and I met today, we were talking about the weather. We did not even have time to start checking. Uyu anakaa aje? Which dimple does she have on which side that has those things are not there. And the political environment, to just discredit what he said about women sexually profiling each other, is very vicious to both men and women, such that as a woman, when you're in there, you're not first looking at what huyu mwanamke mwenzangu, you're looking at how can she be my ally. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. And a person, you can only map out an ally by saying, this person is good when it comes to speaking about economics. This person is good when it comes to rapporteuring. This person is good when it comes to a particular. So it completely discredits that. Now, when we talk about removing, or the sunset clause that Odhiambo is proposing should be introduced, I think there is a danger in it. And
there is a danger in doing away with it.
With that particular seat.
But now Odhiambo is talking about Siaya, where Lady has been.
Yes, I want to start from where he began by saying that this seat was introduced as an affirmative action seat, so that then after you're done there, you go into either a single member constituency or you go into gubernatorial or whatever it is. If you look at a county like Kisumu, the difference between the first member of parliament and the second female member of parliament is 50 plus years, if we are not looking at the women rep. That is after Grace Onyango, the next female MP that Kisumu had was Rosa Buyu, in terms of a single member constituency. So if there was no woman a seat or the county woman MP seat, then we would be saying that the female constituency, because women on their own are a constituent, would be saying that they do not have anyone that is representing them in parliament. So what happens then when we say that now it's time to remove this particular
No, you agree that
clause?
the job is to represent women.
No, I'm not saying that the job is to represent women. The constitution is very clear on represent. But on the argument of whether or not they should represent women, we are also putting those same women on the high pedestal. The same way we are saying that and we have all agreed previously, all three of us agreed that they have to work harder. So these same women that we want to come back and vie for single member constituency, we are also telling them that they did not represent women. But if you look at some of the bills that they have done, look at what, in terms of the disability leagues and all those things, women are also have also been affected, because most caregivers of children with disability, for example, are their mothers. Those are women. When you look at the vaccination bills and the complaints in terms of the budget allocation for health, most people who bear the brunt of poor health facilities are women. So they don't necessarily have to stand there and say that from morning to evening the only discussion there, or the only conversation they're having, is pertaining women particularly. But when they push for legislation, or when they table legislation that affects women indirectly, they have also represented. So, but when we begin to insist that they must only have conversations that directly touch on women matters, then I feel we are losing it, and we are then pushing them back to that high pedestal that we are trying to push them away from.
I think that is not what we meant, Bolo. Yeah, that is not what.
Maybe you can.
You just mentioned that women is a constituency on their own. So we first of all expect you. It's not like we expect you to be talking about women's issues, but at least in these other issues that we're talking about, there's a woman's issue inside there. Just like you mentioned, we have so many problems as women. You can't tell us that now you haven't found a woman's problem to talk about, and now you are doing representation. Your job is not to represent women, and then now you're representing the whole county because you are a county member of parliament. No. For the first thing you need to do, your constituency is a woman when you get into power. So why are we are talking about putting them on high pedestal? When it comes to election, we don't just want women. No, we're not just electing them because on the basis of being a woman. We're electing them because they're capable of representing women and representing women. So we expect you there to be there talking about the women, not just
for example, the bill that Millie Odhiambo sponsored the other day for IVF, you would expect that women rep, some of the women rep,
to talk about. So we're not talking about.
Are not even present.
Yeah, again,
you are not in the house.
This seat, because it's affirmative action seat, we take it as the young girls watching you. We are taking examples. We are learning from you. So we expect you, just like you said, you're expected to work twice or 3 years as men. It's because the representation, we don't have enough women in power. So true. When one woman akichoma, you're not seen as a single woman. You're seen as the all women. If Samia Suluhu amechoma Tanzania, people are blaming women leadership. They're not blaming Samia herself. So if you're there and you fail to represent the women, tunasema wewe mmepewa hata kiti na kuna nyinyi wenyewe hamwezi jisaidia. So the narratives coming up that women are not supporting themselves, women are enemies of themselves, it doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes from somewhere, and it's these women in power. So if you're a woman there, you are a woman, whether you are a woman MP or you are elected as a member of parliament or governor or what, I expect your constituency, the first point of entry is you being a woman. Because ukifanya kitu, you'll expect us also to defend your women, stand with women, support your fellow women.
Other way, you look like somebody who will be in Wanja very soon. By the way, you are not going for anything? No,
no, I am not. I am not going for anything. But
you look like you are gearing up for something.
No, I'm not vying. That's very clear. I'm not vying.
In 2027?
In 2027, I'm not vying.
You are on record saying you are not vying?
In 2027, I'm not vying. That is what I have said.
Okay.
So, when she talks about, sorry, I lost my train. Yeah, but Faith, you're going to be in elective politics soon, right? Or in appointive politics. But I do see you as, and even now, there are women that look up to you.
Yeah.
So, when you
know what is it?
You are fearing being voted in?
No, I don't. I'm not fearing.
When you push and actually agree in limelight that, wewe as a woman, when you ukichoma unachoma kila mtu, then it means that you will also have that pressure when you get there, right? So for me, as Ruth, my thought process, first of all, I disagree with this issue of we need to only elect women we need to look at the women who are vying and only elect those who are, I don't know of what caliber. For me, let us elect all women. Whether they are learned or not, whether they are all those terminologies, then when we get the number, we work on them. We panel beat them when they are already inside there. And why I say this is because if we are talking about leveling the playing ground, you can't level the playground when you expect me to be fighting with a pig and come out when I am clean and I'm wearing white. It's not possible. If I'm wearing white and I am fighting with a pig in mud, best believe I'll come out with that stain. True or false? So we are sending the
are you
women.
saying we are limited with women who are actually smart, good?
I'm not saying we are limited.
Are we limited?
I'm not saying we are limited. What I'm saying,
women
is when we are caucusing as women on our own, then we panel beat each other. But when we are on platforms, then we will tell people that the same moral standards you have given a man, give the same moral standard to a woman. Then when we
does
go behind,
does a voter understand that?
Now it is our job to make them understand that.
You know, Boro, we cannot,
it is our job to make them understand
the
that.
election. We cannot change the electorate in a single night. There's this conversation that we are doing here. But when we go back, and that is why I want to agree with her. There's some level of understanding that the electorates, whenever you are called a women rep, kazi yako ni ya wamama. And that is what now the problem comes. If you don't help those wamama, they will not see the reason to elect more women into power, because wewe hiyo kitu ya wamama haikutusaidia. These wamamas, them they understand the way Bolo and I understand that this is not a women representative issue or a seat. But these voters, they don't understand. So to make it more viable and to bring now, to make sure, because I sometimes even wonder, do these women want more women in power? You know, I've also realized they don't want. Let me finish. These leaders, they don't want more women to come and because that is why they want to stay for 13 years. Because if I empower more women, they will come and confront the status quo. So these women, they have already now created a cocoon shell where now young women, if you try to come, they are the same people who will send other people to beat you and to label you, so that you are not even elected or you are not come. This is
There's a lady in Migori who is called Othemble. Do you know her?
Yes, we go along, Sheila.
Yes, and it is the women. It is another woman that called her that.
But and that's what I'm asking. Why is it that when women are going at it, then it is women are their own enemies?
Yeah,
but when men are going at it, we don't say the same thing.
That is the society. And I agree with you,
we are making an assumption that a lot of people at the grassroots or the common Mananchi doesn't understand. You're talking about the common Mananchi of 19 Patokpuk, as my grandmother would say. Right now, you will agree with me that the electorate's mindset has shifted.
It has.
There's a shift
Where?
in the mindset.
No,
I'm telling you because
I
I hold grassroots meetings almost every week.
Because you want
the rural area.
It is because you want to hear what you want to hear.
No. They know these things. They just decide not to. In 2017, there is a women rep who was campaigning. She managed to be women rep. She was campaigning and her nudes were leaked. And she comes from a community that is very, very reserved, that is very conservative, right? And so automatically women started saying, oh my God, she has spoiled for us. Now see what she has done. The electorate will just continue saying that all these women in politics are prostitutes. You know the Malaya tagline you were saying. And there was an uproar around it. But the electorates and the old grandmothers are the ones who are saying, huyo malaya, huyo mwenye mumesema ndio tunaenda kuchagua. That one that you people are saying is spoiling for us. We are going to pick them. So what I'm saying, Wamboy and Faith, and that you're probably not, maybe I'm not saying it right. I'm not saying that these women are perfect. I'm also not saying that we should I'm not saying that these women are perfect. What I'm saying is, can we have this if your child in the house has done a mistake, will you advertise that my child has done a mistake? No. You will fix it inside the house.
But this is political
headache. That is what I'm saying, Wamboy.
This is political headache.
Let's fix it inside the house.
No, we can't fix it.
Yes.
No,
because you're continuing to propagate that women are this.
I have really loved this conversation, but we only have 5 minutes to close. And so it closes at 10. so then I want to give you an opportunity to say your last opinion, even as we finish. So I'll give you 1 minute. I'll give you 1 minute, and then we wrap it up. So I'll start with Faith Ken, who is visibly very anxious.
It's okay, Jagera, thank you for having me. I feel we will have started with this women.
It's a very good topic.
Yeah, it's a very good.
I will do another discussion that starts from this.
So for me, I'm still of the belief that we should not elect women on the basis of them being a woman. We should elect them because they are qualified enough to represent women. If I'm electing a woman, I know I should be sure that this woman is going to represent me as a woman. I feel represented. I feel seen. I feel like my issues are being also noticed. So And the same thing, if you're holding women in leadership accountable, it's not on the basis of we talked about Karen Nyamu, you know, sexualizing a 15-year-old. So for what you're saying is that because you're a woman, you should be a bit lenient because she's a woman. No, if you're a woman, we're electing you on the basis, because if you want to level the playground, then we're not viewing you basis of what Odhiambo was saying. You know, we are viewing based on your ideology. So you are there to represent us. We are holding you accountable the same way we're holding other leaders accountable. And if you're a woman who has been elected, know very well that you're representing us. And many young women are looking up to you. And just like we said, the playground is not yet leveled for women. So wewe ukichoma, yes, kuna slips. You can slip. We make mistakes. We are women. But usikuwa hapo kila siku like you're always trending because of all the possible negative results. No, unafanya. People think that women are not still able to lead. So ya ukikaa hapo jua, you're representing also all the women that are looking up to you.
All right, thank you very much. Wamboi?
Yes, thank you very much for having me, Jagero. And this is very, a very good program. I loved it. I loved the ladies as well. Actually, Bolo, we attended a program with Bolo for a whole year. So I would like to say, women, we are not enemies of each other. And maybe 4 years later,
from Potato Republic.
We don't fight. And I also want to encourage all the women that are out here who want to come to leadership positions. It is actually very fun when you get yourself into these spaces. But the truth is, you have to fight twice or thrice as much as a man. That is, nobody should lie to you. And I would welcome, and those who feel they want to see me, they want to talk to me on the site. My handle is Wamboi Njoki on all the platforms. And I will tell you, you come and you don't need to complicate the issues, and you'll not get it easy. And once you get it, please perform. Once you get it, just please perform.
Okay.
Yes.
Bolo?
I think my takeaway would be two. First is also to encourage a lot of women to join politics. Actually, it would be three. The first one is to encourage women to join politics. It's not easy, but it's worth it. It's very, very fulfilling. I think the second one is to request all citizens to the same standards you hold the male counterparts at. Please hold the same standards with the women. Don't be harsher. Do not be, don't continue to share some of those narratives that we very well know have been passed by time. But three, of course, is to invite them that when you want to go and look at sugarcane in other countries as members of county assemblies, please come to Homa Bay. You don't need to travel. Just bring that money into the county.
Sugarcane?
In Homa Bay? Yes.
You plant?
Yes, you can come for benchmarking. But do you have the same money as the one for the MCS? On a license.
The people of Nyatike. I just realized that you mentioned
each of us 1 minute.
On the thing of Kadem. We have roads in Kadem currently. I don't know when Bolo traveled to Kadem.
2 weeks ago.
The only road that is not there, it's Muhuru Masara Road, which is
Masara from the guy who wants to become governor, Masara.
No, that one is not. The Masara is a place. The Muhuru Masara Road, it's 32.
But there is also a gubernatorial candidate called Masara.
Yeah, there's Masara, Nyamita, and Nyakwarisina Kuru now. Yeah, so, and there's so many things that the president has done in Nyatike. So I just had to say that. There's affordable housing in Sori, there's the Got Kachola, Sori Road.
Umetumiwa message.
No, you change the topic before nifike hapo. We have a paya in Uhuru. There's a fish landing site in Got Kachola. There's, kuna fish landing site. The same in Asat, also Kisumu. So we'll change topic before nijibu hiyo story ya Miuru na Kadem.
Hizo ni za Ruto ama ni za Nyaso?
Ni za Ruto.
Nyakwarisina Kuru hazidani anything in Migori. So
Zagero naniambia all the young ladies, Safina is a very women friendly party.
Okay.
Come all.
Hey. Safina pesa. Yes, Odhiambo, what is it?
Yeah, you're not a member for Kabondo.
Okay,
I have to speak about a thing that you said.
1 minute.
Of course, it's 1 minute. First, thank you so much for today. Today it is ladies' night.
Yeah.
Beautiful, brilliant ladies. And
I want to bring them more. People have been
talking about ladies.
Very patriarchal, your studio.
Yeah. And we're happy this has happened. Two, Jagero, I want you to a little bit tone down on this issue of attacking Wanga.
But I've not attacked Wanga.
You have.
No, what have I said?
As Jagero.
What have I said about Wanga Ebolo?
You asked me, you did not actually attack her.
Yeah. Why?
I'm just trying to.
You have also used a text message.
No, you will be. Jagero.
Wanga told him that Odhiambo, I like you very much, but wherever I'm being attacked, you are sitting.
Jagero, when Wanga came to power,
yes,
alitutolea ibu ingine.
Okay.
That's why perhaps you see people like me from Homa Bay defend so strong. Of course, there are some failures here and there which are not precedented. But I can mention for you just a few of the successes, because you always ask yourself, what has she done with the money of the county? One, 12,000-seater Raila Odinga Stadium. She came in, she got it when it was stagnated. It was like over 10 years. She did it in less than 4 months. It was done. And was ready for action.
20 seconds.
Jagero, it is political headache.
Okay.
We're not rushing somewhere, Two, if you look at the markets, we have Nyakwere market, which she did and completed. We have Oyugi's market, which she did and completed. Today you can visit them and have a look at them. We have Homa Bay market, right inside the town, the CBD, which was done and completed under her. In less than 3 years, this lady has constructed a whole county complex. In less than 3 years, this lady has initiated Fundi Mangula program, which is an apprenticeship program empowering people who have not gone to degrees and diplomas like you. She has initiated the fins to swim, just like the wings to fly for equity, which has so far seen about 600 students, actually above 600 students, receive full scholarship from the county government. This lady has ensured when she came into power that all...
finishing.
Jagero, please. That all the about 6-7 sub-county hospitals were done to standard. They're now level 4. They're in Homa Bay right there. You can see them. Apart from that, there are so many other things, like in terms of agriculture, farmers are receiving seeds every other season to improve their agriculture. These are things that we must appreciate amongst the many that she's done. Right now, in Homa Bay County and Referral Hospital, there's a construction of a 5-story complex that will help in improving the healthcare services and healthcare access in Homa Bay.
All right.
Just among the few. Thank you, among the few. Among the few. So respect to Wanga.
You and Homa Bay County could also consider one thing.
You'll be coming to Homa Bay a lot, so
I don't want to come home.
Jagero, me, I've not used my extra 1 minute. You see, when we're talking about Wanga, there are 2 things that I will give her credit for. The first thing I'll give her credit for is she has completed the projects of her predecessor. Those are the ones that many of them Odhiambo has mentioned. But what I'm asking myself today is, if John impregnated me and he passes on and Peter comes into my life when I'm 7 months pregnant, does that mean that child is for Peter?
Yes,
that is the question.
Yeah.
Is the child Peter's or is it John's? I think
John's.
that's a question I want to pose. But also, Wanga has no. We didn't. No, we are just holding her accountable. Now, what she's been able to do is lobby.
That is a narrative.
She's done a lot of lobbying. And she's also been able to give.
That's a narrative. You're not getting it.
That's why earlier on I mentioned that the different.
This is becoming
the one who was in charge of agriculture. Magwanga is the one who was in charge of the agricultural docket. So when we talk,
women are against
no. Just because I am not supporting, just because I'm not supporting Wanga does not mean I am. Credit where due, but
if Wanga is giving Odhiambo money to say the things, why can't you put a feature ad on political net? You can also
wait, just a minute, Jagero.
Why don't you place a feature ad?
Jagero.
For political survival.
Jagero. I will say this without fear.
Okay.
That if somebody has done you something good, it's okay to appreciate. Has Wanga helped me before? Yes, she has. Is that something good? Yes, it is. When you invited me to Rwanda, she paid the ticket to Rwanda. I appreciate it. That's
With
something
whose
good.
money?
Her money. She's not a brokey like some of them. She has money.
What
No,
does she do?
I told you the problem with working in public service is if you buy a coat that is weather beaten,
That is the truth.
they will say you are taking their money. Kwani Wanga, before she became a women rep, she was earning stones. She was a whole director of a program of anthropology, designing anthropological programs. The beauty
Podcast.
the beauty with Wanga, for us the men of Homa Bay, there are so many who disagree with her. But for people like me who have a heart of gratitude, I thank her for what she has done. If fellow women are going to lynch Wanga, it is upon them. For me, I'm appreciating the work she's done for us.
I think wacha tu niseme good night.
People of the internet, thank you very much for always gathering around this fireplace to speak with us, to talk to us, to listen to us. Thank you very much. Consider subscribing, and thank you, ladies, for coming to this show today. I really appreciate it. It was very refreshing for the first time. I'm not having those men that are fighting here on the studio. So thank you very much, people of the internet. Until another episode, bye for now.
All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So, what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjigero.co.ke.